The Michigan-Ohio rivalry is more than just sports. It's everything. The two states share a border and little else. But common ground can be found in football, the love of it, and the love of when two teams from the two states get it going on the gridiron. In the Motor City and in the Queen City, high school football ranks highly, and two proud programs that are at the top of their respective rankings rev it up tonight. Cincinnati Archbishop Moeller are kings of the Queen City. The 9-time state champions are trying for a perfect 10 in 2021.
You are about to witness the very exciting story of a city and its people. It will be an adventure that will open new sights in familiar surroundings. It is a story of a city seeking new horizons in a resolute contest with great challenges. That city is Detroit.
At 7-2, the Crusaders are number 1 in Region 4 of Ohio's Division 1. After taking down Cleveland Power Lakewood St. Edward, they head north for a showdown. Detroit Kings Crusaders are dominant in the D, top-ranked in Division 3. They've won 4 state titles and are going for a high 5 in 2021. After losing to Carmel of Indiana in Week 1, they've reeled off 7 straight and clipped Cass Tech by 6 last week. The Michigan-Ohio rivalry moves to Motown. It's a clash of the Crusaders. It's Detroit King and Cincinnati Archbishop Moeller. And it's next on the Preps exclusive coverage of the Friday Night Clash, presented by the Woodward Sports Network.
And welcome to Detroit and Lorenzo White Stadium, where tonight it's a border rival at our Friday Night Clash game of the week. Welcome to Detroit King. My name is Chad Bush alongside Sam Stick Day as we get set for number 1, Detroit King, the Crusaders, who welcome in number 6, Archbishop Moeller. Glad to be with you, Chad Bush and Sam Stick Day from Detroit. It's October. It feels like football. It's finally sub 60 degrees. We've got an outstanding matchup. Two teams coming off huge wins last week. All that happened for Moeller was they went up and beat the number 1 team in the state of Ohio. Yep. Meanwhile, King cleans up and sweeps the season series against Cass Tech.
Yeah, and we're looking for a big matchup tonight. And, you know, it's bigger than just these two teams. It's about 2 states, and that's what you love. Whenever a team from Michigan takes on a team from Ohio, it's more than just game pride on the line. You're playing for the entire state because we know how it goes down between Michigan and Ohio.
We sure do. Moeller has not been in the state of Michigan since 2012, but they have faced 4 teams from the state of Michigan in their history. Meanwhile, we've got a stellar matchup between 2 teams that really like to throw the football and do it well, 2 teams that are highly ranked and have high-octane offenses. We expect that to be one of the storylines here tonight.
Yeah, and it all starts with both teams' quarterbacks. That's who we're going to be focusing on really on both sides of the offense. You know, for King, Dante Moore, he had a big game second half last week. We'll see if he can carry that over. And then obviously the big guy, 6'6", 215, Gesselbrecht is going to be a fun. I haven't really seen him play, so I'm excited too. He was kind of a late bloomer, so it's going to be interesting to see how he acclimates himself to playing up here with the big boys in Michigan.
3 straight overtime games for Moeller. So they're coming into this one. Yeah, they're a deep team. They do have a deep roster, but anybody to play 3 straight weeks in overtime, you know you're battle-tested, and they've also traveled to the depths and the corners of the country. 1,500 miles traveled round trip.
Yeah, anytime you're coming off 3 overtime games, it pretty much tells you that you are tested and that you can keep your calm, keep your composure, and when crunch time comes, you're going to make the big plays. So they got to feel really good about that coming in, but at the same time, you kind of want to finish some of these games in regulation, don't you, Chad?
Yeah, you think so. Detroit King, the number 1 team in the state of Michigan, against Ohio's number 6 ranked team, who just knocked off the number 1 club in the state of Ohio, St. Edward. So let's take a look and get to know this Moeller team a little bit better and understand what they have to operate. Let's start first with a quarterback. This, you mentioned, a late bloomer, but this is a very good quarterback in Noah Gesselbach.
Yeah, this is his 8th start, his first full year as a full-time starter. He's throwing about 65%. He's almost at 2,000 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and this is what I love about him. He spreads the ball around. 9 different receivers so far this season have gotten a touchdown for him. And you like his humble story. He started out as a freshman, 3rd-string quarterback, and now look at him, starting number 1, big guy. Everybody's eyes on him tonight, so that's a great story for him.
And then you look on the defensive side of the football stick, and they've got a defensive lineman and a senior that's a big-time player.
Yeah, not only is he a big-time player, he's getting big-time offers. Marshall is hot on his heels, but he can plug up the middle. He plays physical. He's got those long arms so he could separate from the guy trying to block him. So watch for him to plug up the middle tonight. And we were talking about it pregame. King needs to run the ball. They didn't do it really well last week against Cass Tech, so look for him to be a big-time player in today's game.
So you look at the road team, Moeller, who comes into this matchup 7-2 overall, 1-2, and they come in from the GCL down in Cincinnati. Let's take a look on the other side of the football stick and look at Detroit King, who comes in number 1 ranked, 7-1 record, 6-0 from the Detroit Public School League. Their only loss was in week 1 to Carmel in Indiana, their top-ranked team. This is a lethal weapon, but it starts with number 5.
Yeah, and they lost on a Hail Mary. We can't not mention that, too. But it's all led, like you said, number 5, Dante Moore. I mean, everybody that wants a quarterback wants this guy to be their quarterback. Number 3 quarterback in the nation. He's super accurate. He has a strong arm. He can make all the reads. We saw him last week make a couple of really heads-up plays. He's smart with the ball. I'm looking for him to use his legs a little bit more tonight because we didn't see that much last week, but he is definitely the catalyst for the entire offense for King.
Guy that threw for over 200 yards last week and a couple of touchdowns. You look on the other side, and they've got a fella on the defensive line as well, and a senior that's a tough cookie.
Yeah, the big sexy. That's what I like to call him. This guy, he just makes plays. That's what he does. There he is right there, big number 55. And, I mean, try to move that bowling ball out of the way. It is a tough obstacle. He's able to break up plays. He's able to get in the backfield. And just because he's a stout guy doesn't mean he doesn't have wheels. We saw him track down the Cass Tech quarterback last week as well.
A lot of fun to be had here tonight at Lorenzo White Stadium. We've got a big-time matchup for you, the biggest and the best matchup in the state of Michigan, coming at you right here on the Preps coverage of the Friday Night Clash, presented by Woodward Sports.
Man! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame.
Don't ride the bike of shame. Get tons of equipment and free fitness training. Join today for just $10 a month.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
Welcome back to Detroit King. We're getting set for Detroit King, and Archbishop Moeller from Detroit King High School. Mark Elder joins us in the pregame show. Coach, welcome back to Detroit. This is a place and a state that you are quite familiar with.
Yeah, absolutely. I was fortunate enough to live here in Michigan for 6 years, I think it was. So yeah, and right here in Detroit for a year and a half and change. So it is great to be back in this area.
And you come back off the heels of a big 28-21 win in overtime up in Cleveland last weekend. Just talk about the exciting win against the #1 team in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, I thought that our guys put together a really good game in all 3 phases, played well enough to win, and obviously Eds is a very, very talented team and a really good team, and so felt strong about our performance collectively, and here we go again with another major challenge with King, and I think that they're absolutely spectacular, really, really dynamic kids across the board for them on the skill positions, big and physical up front, so we're going to have a big challenge ahead of us today.
We're with Mark Elder, the head coach in his second year for Archbishop Moeller out of Cincinnati. Look, you and Ty Spencer put this game together, and you both have roots in a common thread. And Paul Winters, the head coach at Wayne State. Talk about how you were able to get this blockbuster game together.
Yeah, so we were looking for a Week 10 game, and in Ohio, that's really, really difficult to find because we play in a small conference. There's only 4 schools in our conference, so we got to schedule seven games. Almost everybody in the state is in some sort of conference, and Week 10 is a conference game. So it's not easy to find a game, so I had reached out to a bunch of people fairly local and really had to branch out quite a bit, and so started to have to get into conversations with people outside of the state and not just across the border in Kentucky or Indiana, obviously, and turned out that Ty had a game open at this time and worked out great. So, excited and appreciative of the opportunity to play.
Ty, former player under Mark Elder. Let's talk about this team and this matchup. Your team likes the pass. And they had their way in the pass last week. You go against a King secondary that is really going to give you a challenge, but you guys are up for it. Talk about how you'll attack the King secondary.
Yeah, I think they're very skilled. I mean, they've got a lot of really good skilled players that can run, athletic. So those matchups are going to be difficult for sure, and they're going to be in a lot of man coverage to try to, win those one-on-one battles. And so they're certainly going to test us in our throwing game. But we are a balanced team. I mean, it might favor a little bit one direction or the other. I think thus far this year we're probably in the 60-40 category. But, we go into every game trying to find balance in what we're doing. We don't want to be a one-dimensional offense. So we're going to try to run the football. We're going to try to throw the football and really do both today.
Mark Elder, the head coach at Cincinnati Moeller, his team has gone to overtime in 3 straight weeks. How does this test a team even as deep as yours with a 94-man roster? 3 straight weeks in overtime and going on the road and traveling, all that together is a lot for a coach to manage.
Yeah, we've certainly had 3 very emotional games in a row where it's come down 2 in a row that were 1-point games, and then one where we won it in overtime on the first play. But I mean, it's been games that have gone down to the wire and every place mattered. And so, as I've said to the team, I mean, this is great preparation for us for playoffs. If we're going to make a run in the playoffs, you're going to have to win close games because you're not going to just go out and blow everybody out more than likely, and you're going to have to do it on the road, and then you're going to have to suit up and do it again the next week. So this is a great opportunity for us to test that, and once a game's over, you're going to enjoy it for a little bit, but that thing's got to be done, and it's got to be suit up for the next one and put that thing completely behind us. And this is another one of those situations where that was great that we won an emotional game a week ago, but by Monday's practice, that's got to be washed out, and we're just focused on the next one.
Thanks so much for your time. Best of luck today in Detroit. We appreciate it. Good to see you back in the Motor City.
Yeah, thanks, Chad. Appreciate it.
There he is. That's Mark Elder. His team getting set to take on Detroit King. We'll have the pregame continue to roll on right after this. This is the Preps coverage of the Friday Night Clash.
First of all, congrats on winning Coach of the Week.
Thank you.
A big honor.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it is.
How'd you find out about that?
Man, my AD kind of surprised me, told me I was going to be talking to the Detroit Lions about the rivalry game and the game against Moeller, and then at the end they presented me the award. So
that's awesome.
I'm pretty fired up about that. That was cool. Yeah, just a lot of film. You got to have your coaches on the same page to make sure they're prepping right. But I mean, the same as if we were to prepare for Carmel or, even sometimes I'm on the shores. We don't play them all the time. You still got to prep for them. So the same type of preparation. The thing is, you don't know what kind of tricks or gimmicks you're going to get, but you don't worry about that. You take away what they do best, and then you just try to adjust to everything else. No, I don't. I tell the guys that this game doesn't make or break our season, but it's a game that we want. We want to win this game. We let one slip in Indiana, so we want to get this one in Ohio against a premier opponent. And I think when you beat the #1 team in Ohio, and then now they're ranked like 64th in the country, I think they kind of know, like, hey, this is a big game. We got to go ahead and, like, step it up. I just challenged them to play our brand of football. We were making a lot of mistakes, especially on a turnover, on an interception. The receiver didn't run the right route, we threw an interception. It's like, hey, guys, that's not how we play our brand of ball. And defense was playing lights out. So I'm like, hey, defense is going to keep us in the game. Offense, do what you do. and then they scored 21 straight, and that was show the type of character that we had and the grit that we have. This team is special because they love each other. I told them at the first Cavs game, I told them that we're going to win this game because you guys love each other, and they do. They the games that we lost to forfeit, they had team barbecues. They go bowling. They go skating. Like last year, we didn't have that. We didn't have a lot of team camaraderie like that. They're doing it on their own. No coaches are trying to get this done. It's on them. And so you see the maturity, and then we have good leadership, which that's where it comes from. Phenomenal, man. He's great addition to the program, to the team. I mean, he was getting after the receivers at halftime of the Cavs game, and they were listening to him. It wasn't anything going back and forth. They were listening to him, and that tells you the type of respect that they have for him, because Dante's not always like that. But he is our leader on offense and on this team, and you know they march to the beat of his drum. No, we don't do a lot of tricks, you know what I mean, or specialty plays, but really just want to get better at what we do, and because I see the defense getting better from week in and week out. We see the offense. Of course, our offensive coordinator is out, but you know, our offense is a 40-point offense. So really just want to fine-tune things and really get these guys to play a complete game, special teams, offense, and defense.
Welcome back to Detroit. Chad Bush and Sam Stick Day with you as we get set for kickoff. Keys to victory. And the number 1 team in the state of Michigan taking on the number 6 team from the state of Ohio. Stick, what do you see in this one? What do both teams have to get done to get that win?
Well, it really depends on where you want to start. So let's start with the away team. You know, they're obviously traveling here from Ohio, Cincinnati, and don't be scared. You know, you're in Detroit. It's been a long road trip. They're 4-0 when they come to Michigan, so I don't really think the road trip scares them that much. But, you know, it's a different stage. It's a different atmosphere, and they just got to come out and play their game if they want to win today. And then you flip over to the King side, and to me, it's really simple. Just get more going early. Last week, it took till halftime to get him up and running. He needs to get it going, and like I said, not only with his arm, but with his legs early and often, and that's what's going to keep King in this game.
Last week, King had to come from behind. They trailed at the half 14-0. They would outscore the opponent 21-0 in the third quarter and beyond and go on to win their game. They've won 7 straight games now since losing the opening week to Cathedral. Meanwhile, Archbishop Moeller 7-2 from the GCL, coming off a 28-21 overtime road win at number 1 Division I St. Ed's in Cleveland. And we're about set to go. It feels like football. I know you're excited, Stick. It's great to be here.
Oh, this weather makes it. You know, that little bit of cold where you got your hands in your pockets, and you know those hits feel a little extra hard on a night like tonight, but there's going to be some big hitting because we got 2 big-time teams ready to kick off and play Ohio versus Michigan right here.
Here we go. Back deep is Tennell Bryant along with Alec Weeder. And to kick it off for King is Terrence Moore. Here comes King right to left. Moeller in the white tops, white bottoms. And we are set for the Motor City on a Friday night. And here we go. It will be the return man, Alec Weeder. He has it across the 30. Good size return to the 40, up to the 45-yard line before he is finally knocked down by number 24, Tim Ruffin. But how about the return by little number 6, big-time player, Alec Weeder?
Yeah, before the game, I saw him out there standing with the rest of his teammates. They got 6'7", 6'6" guys on their team, and you didn't expect him to come out and have a return like that right off the bat. But sometimes those guys get lost behind the line. You can't see them, and next thing you know, they're at the 45-yard line.
Here comes the Moeller offense. Michael Digman is the offensive coordinator. Noah Gesselbrock, a senior, 6'6", 216. This is a guy that is a late bloomer, but this is a serious contention player for a Division I scholarship. He's got a good offense behind him. We'll get into that later. 34 points a game for this Moeller offense. He turns and gives to his tailback. This is Jordan Marshall. Marshall has the right sideline, and Marshall has a healthy gain of about 10 on first down, and already Moeller is into King territory on play number 1.
Yeah, on that play right there, they just could not get the seal on the end. And, you know, you want to turn them back into your help, but you weren't able to. He was able to get the corner and pick up, about 9 yards right there on the first carry. Manageable second down.
It's a very good offensive line. Thomas Beal with John Curran up front. Colin Remanowski is the center. Josh Reese to his right. Donnie Lewis is the right tackle. A very good offensive line for Moeller. Gesselbrock in the shotgun. Turns, gives Jordan. Right side has the first down. He needed 1, he got 2. Move the chains, first down, Crusaders.
And what do we always say? If they can't stop it, run it again. And that's exactly what they did. They ran it again, this time only picking up 2 yards, but they only needed 1, so it's good enough for a first down.
Moeller has traveled quite a bit this year as we get a look at their backs and receivers. Weeder, you saw on the return, very good wide receiver group with Thompson, Merck, Bryant, and Caddis. Caddis is a Kentucky commit, and Tennell Bryant is a Division I prospect and is their top touchdown getter with 12 this year. Turn, give, handoff is to Jordan again. He has 2 up the middle, but he ran into trouble, and that's that front line for King that will meet here.
Yeah, that's the strength of the King defense. Running into big number 55 is usually not in the playbook.
The linebackers, Ruffin, Williams, and Bailiff. Bailiff is the leading tackler for the Crusaders. The defensive line, Terrence Mays, our impact player, along with Marquise White, Amani Dowdell, and Kenny Merriweather. Croft, Brown, Dooley, and Webb on the back end for a very good secondary, which is going to be challenged tonight by this very good pass game for Moeller, which we have yet to see. Weeder left side. He has a healthy gain of 8 before he's tripped up. And here comes Moeller. They're already down to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 with 10 and change to go here in the first.
And once again, you're seeing it, the failure to be able to contain the edge. That's really the weakness right now for King's defense, and Moeller is exploiting it just by working the edges.
They sure are. Moeller has been in overtime, as we told you, 3 straight weeks. And last week they got it done really with a passing game. 268 yards through the air, just 50 on the ground. First time to the air tonight, it's to Caddis, and it's a first down short gainer. He needed 1. It was 3rd and 1. And he gets enough for the first down. And this is Caddis, the big tight end. And this kid is committed to Kentucky. And his daddy played in the NFL, Eric Caddis. He played for the Bengals.
And I like that call right there for Moeller. They've been running the ball. And just to get your quarterback into a rhythm, send 2 guys into the flat, let them pick. You can either pick the running back or the tight end. Pick the tight end right there, and you get your first down.
Caddis' dad, Eric, also went to the University of Michigan and was all Big Ten, played on a Rose Bowl team, and played in the NFL. So here comes Big Mo inside the 30 of King. Throw left side, and it's too tall for the target. And the target is his favorite, Tennell Bryant, but he's not 6'7", unless you are, you're not going to catch that.
And he's lucky he's not 6'7", because if he was and caught that, that was almost a surefire touchdown. Once again, a great play call. Looked like a little wide receiver screen, and you saw he had his blockers out front. That was at least going to be a 10-yard pickup.
Gesselbrock is a great story. 3rd-string quarterback on the freshman team. He couldn't even get minutes on the JV team, and finally got minutes last year, 4 weeks into the season. And this kid all of a sudden is one of the hottest prospects in the state of Ohio. 2 to the right, 2 to the left, bunch set, tight. Jordan in the backfield, and another pass, this time caught, stays on his feet, breaks a tackle across the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Gain of 14 on the play. And Moeller's knocking on the door here early in the D.
I think that's a great example of why Gesselbeck is getting the looks that he's getting. That was a perfect throw in rhythm, keeping his player moving forward so he was able to keep his momentum around. Because if he slows down, that's an easy tackle for a loss.
Ball loose left side after the handoff. Quick snap. King says they have it. The officials have not made a call yet.
I think they're saying he was down. I saw a couple officials pointing at the ground.
No score, opening drive. I'm sorry, partner.
No, you're fine. Looked like they were huddling up to talk about it, but I saw the side official come in and point down, so no fumble.
So 2nd down and about 5. 8:27 to go. Motion right to left for Tennell. Gesselbrock looking right side, and he overshot Tennell again. Tennell Bryant, the intended wide receiver, and now it's going to be 3rd and 5, and this is something that Mark Elder talked about, Stick, when you and I spoke with him. You have to finish drives in the red zone. They haven't been very good at that this year.
Well, if you're a passing offense, this is where things get condensed, and when you're playing a team like Martin Luther King, all their athletes move around in this space so fast, so it's hard to get open. Unless you're a dominant running team, this is where you need that part of your arsenal.
Kings defense led by their defensive coordinator Ty Spencer and Aronde Stanton, part of that 2007 state championship team for King. Throw right side, Gessel blocked, and it's dropped by Tennell Bryant. It's 4th and 5, and it's field goal time, you would think, for Moeller.
And that was interesting. I don't know if he would have scored on that play, but he definitely was in position to get a first down. It would have been a one-on-one battle in the flat, and that's exactly what you want with your premier wide receiver. So big break for King there, him dropping it, but it looks like they're going for it on 4th down. And why not?
Mark Elder says, heck with it. We drove 5 hours to not to get field goals.
The kicker's like, I drove 2, though.
4th and 5 from the 7-yard line. Trips stacked to the right. Left hash isolated. Weeder in the backfield. Watch him. Back to pass. Gesselbrock throwing in the end zone. Incomplete, too tall, over the head of the intended receiver, Kurt Thompson. And this King defense does it again.
What a major stop by King. I mean, Moeller comes in here all the way up from Cincinnati, driving the ball all the way down the field, just pretty much doing what they want, and not to put it in the end zone. That's got to sting. That's why you put those points on the board when I'm on the road. I want to get that goose egg off the board.
Terrence Brown in coverage stick, and it was a well-covered, well-defended play. And the King defense, which this year is allowing 20 points a game, makes a stand, and they're hot. Last week, the shutout against Cass Tech, their rival, who they beat twice this year and essentially eliminated from the playoffs potentially.
Yeah, they shut them out in the second half and were able to come back and win that game. But now it's time to see the man, Dante Moore.
So here's Dante Moore, 6'2", 195, number 1 rated quarterback in the state of Michigan, number 3 in the country. From the right hash, 8:06 to go, no score. First drive, handoff, up the middle. This is the starting tailback, Terrence Brown, and he's got a healthy gain on first down.
Yeah, a little bit of wiggle on that, too. It was a run right up the middle, but he made 2 subtle moves to make defenders miss and was able to pick up a first down on the very first carry of the game.
That's Sterling Anderson Jr., actually. It's Slack, Calhoun, Collingsworth, Courtney, and Shepard up front. Zantes Calhoun, the guy you got to watch. Then you look at Weichel, Mercier, Chauncey Willis, Joseph Williams, and Terrence Brown. And we saw a big game last week from Chauncey Willis, who scored that game winner, the 74-yard touchdown catch. RPO is kept by Moore, and he's got a short gain on first down. Nice job by the Moeller defense to feel this thing out.
But that's something we didn't see a lot out of King early in the game last time, was getting Dante Moore's legs running. And when we were here watching them practice over the week, I saw a couple designed plays for him, and I was like, oh, that's new.
Coe, Garrett, Wilp, and Brown up front. We highlighted Garrett. He's a good one. And his teammates up front are good as well. Alex French steps in, gets the start at the outside backer. Joe Giannetti is their leading tackler. As the handoff right side, and a big hole. And a broken tackle has King out of the shadows of their own end zone. Chauncey Willis with a big gainer up to the 40-yard line.
And that's reminiscent about what he did last week against Cass Tech. They were able to get him the ball in the flat. He made the first defender miss. Last week he was able to bust this for 74 yards, but still a nice gain.
How about the block by Lynn Weichel as well? I swear I didn't plan that. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. There's an H-back in for King. King avoids a drive 1 that went deep into their own territory.
Look how deep the defensive backs are playing.
Yep. Weichel, slot, caught, slant, loose at the 50. Into open field to the 40. Breaks a tackle inside the 30 down to the 27. Lynn Weichel, one of the best kept secrets, who has a couple of MAC offers. And he gets loose here, partner.
But this all starts with what we were talking about pre-snap. I mean, the defensive backs are playing damn near 15 yards back, so they're able to run those underneath routes constantly. And if you got the athletes like that to make the wiggle, you're extending those little 15-yard passes into 25, 35-yard gains.
Finally tackled by the safety Lamont Cox for Moeller, and here comes King on the run. Dante from the right hash. With 6 minutes left in a scoreless game from the 27. Pitch back, left side. Anderson inside the 20 down to the 15. Terrence Brown, rather, the tailback. So the run game is getting a little love. a low number of rushes last week, a low number of plays stick, but the run game has been a focal point tonight.
Yeah, that is a great run by number 21, but if you look downfield, number 18 has his man on the ground, and that was a big downfield by Mercier. What a great downfield block by the wide receivers, and that's where big runs happen. When the wide receivers are making plays, big runs happen.
That's right. King has already surpassed their run total from last week here in the first quarter. 5:37 to go. King rolling right. Moore's got a man caught at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, King! Lynn Weichel, and Detroit is on the board first.
What a great play. Great play call, too. You roll them out right. You give your quarterback some time. But just one man in the flat making the move. You put your best athlete one-on-one with one of their athletes. He beats them, and that's what you're going to get every single time. And Moeller's got to make an adjustment and actually press these wide receivers. Otherwise, that's going to happen all game.
Extra point attempt is up and good. Snap from Brown. And the kick from Terrence Moore, and it's 7-0 King on our Friday night clash, Week 9. We're coming back to Detroit right after this. This is the Preps coverage of the Friday night clash border battle.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Well, it was a 6-play drive, 93 yards, and it took just 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Lynn Weichel into the end zone. A 15-yard touchdown pass from Moore to Mr. Weichel. 7-0 King on top.
Yeah, that was a big back and forth on both opening drives for Moeller to carry it all the way down, get stopped at the 5-yard line, and then for King to take it all the way back down the field. That is a huge shift in momentum in this game.
5:28 to go from Detroit. King will kick off right to left. Moeller is used to coming from behind. This is not a deal for them. They have 2 losses this year. And here comes Weeder with a kickoff. He had a solid return his first time. This one not as nice. King was ready this time, and he's hedged in at the 26. So here comes Moeller trying to answer that King drive. It seemed like a fast drive to go 93 yards in just over 2 minutes stick against this Moeller defense. I mean, we're in for some points tonight.
Yeah, and as we know, Moeller isn't the type of team to panic. You know, they've survived overtime the past 3 games, but this drive is really big for them because they got down there. They were so close. This should be a 7-7 ball game at minimum. They're 7-3 at minimum, but they didn't elect to go for the points. They didn't get it on 4th down, but they should feel good. They've been able to show that they can move the ball. We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
Yes, sir. So here comes drive number 2. It'll start at the 26 at the 5:23 mark. Back to pass. Gesselbrock looking deep. Got a man caught inside the 30 down to the 28. Oh, what a pitch and catch. A 50-yard strike nearly. And Moeller comes right back with a haymaker.
And that's exactly what we were just saying. You don't go down on yourself. You showed you can move the ball, so do it again.
Getting loose behind this King defense was their best target, Tennell Bryant. And wasting no time here, they go right back to it. And they hit number 24, that's Jordan Marshall, a super sophomore.
Yeah, great run around the left side. And here they are, right back where they were just about 2 minutes of game time ago. First down, closing in the red zone. Moeller's going to move the ball all game long.
No doubt. 5:07 left, 1st and 10 inside the 16-yard line. It's a Moeller offense that put up 28 points last week. 2 touchdowns from Weeder and 2 from the man that caught that bomb, Mr. Tennell Bryant. A lightning-quick kid at 10.85 100-meter. This is Weeder right side. He's going to try the 10. He'll get tripped up. And the tackle made there on the perimeter by King's secondary. Number 14 in on that, that's Dwayne Dickerson.
And here you go, just explodes through the hole. Not really too much to that run, just a quick little dive off the tackle, and he was able to pick up 5 yards.
Also in on the stop was Corey Webb, the safety. So 2nd and 5 from the 10. A quick strike to Tennell Bryant, nearly 50 yards right now, looming large.
And this is where they kind of stalled out last time. They tried a couple flat passes to the flat, and they couldn't get it done. We'll see if they continue to do that.
Motion left to right. Weeder gets the play action, and we've got a penalty. And this is something that's very familiar for both teams. Moeller's had penalty problems this year. Kings had a lot of penalty problems this year, too. They had 10 last week in a game that saw 25 total penalties.
That was a fun game.
Don't start this now.
No, not now. Those 3 penalties before the half on the running or the dead clock were insane last week.
2nd down and 9 from the 10. Gesselbrock, 6'6", tall drink of water senior. Making use of his time in his senior campaign. Handoff, Weeder, and he's going nowhere in a hurry. Right there to chop it down was big number 55. One of our heroes of the week last week against Cass. And you called his name, Terrence Mays.
I love watching Mays play. I mean, the way he just gets his nose in there. He's just a disruptive player, and that's what you want out of your nose guard.
Sure is. Moeller going on the road. It's happened all but 2 times this year in their 11 games.
Keep an eye on number 10.
3rd and 8, little RPO, pitch to Weeder. Nothing doing outside, ducks inside, and he gets down to the 8-yard line, or right around there. So, like you said, same situation as before. Do you take the points, or do you have to go after it? We'll see, but this play nearly broke.
Yeah, it was a good little option on the outside. If he's able to break that, it could be a touchdown. But no, they're going for it once again on 4th down. And I guess you're kind of pot committed at this point. You didn't take the 3 the first time. You're not going to take the 3 this time.
Yep. So here we go. 4th and 4 from the 13th, making the 9-yard line. Gesselbrock in the shotgun. Looking right corner, got a man open, and incomplete. It was just too long for the running back, Jordan Marshall. And again, it's an errant pass on 4th down. He was wide open. This is a well-designed play.
Yeah, a nice wheel route coming out of the backfield. He had a linebacker on him. See, the linebacker's trailing. Couldn't catch up, but just no way to keep that in bounds at all. He keeps that in bounds. It's an easy touchdown, and that's twice. The play calls have been there. The just plays haven't been executed.
Yeah, that's right. So turnover on downs. King will take it again. This time they'll take it from the 7. This is a familiar spot. They stopped at the 7 last time.
So there you go. Maybe it's their good luck charm.
Man.
Just make sure you keep Moeller at the 7-yard line in the red zone.
2:38 to go. 2nd drive of the game. Dante Moore under center. Turns, gives, hands off to Anderson. And Sterling Anderson is tripped up. It was a ground game last week that really couldn't get started. I mean, there wasn't a lot of plays to begin with, Stick, but on the ground last week, this team rushed 11 times for 35 yards, did King.
Yeah, and you got to hand that to Cass Tech. I mean, they had some big uglies up front, too, that were bogging up and making sure that nobody was running the ball. And then you compound that with all the penalties we saw last game. It was tough to get a running game going.
Sure was. 2nd and 9 for King. At their own 9, they'll send 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And the shotgun is Dante Moore. He's thrown for 70 yards already in this game.
The Moeller defensive backs are still playing way back.
And we've got a flag and a false start.
Delay a game.
Or delay a game, rather.
Yep.
Moore with a hot start. He's 3 of 3. Accurate. Meanwhile, 3 of 8 is the visiting quarterback, Noah Gesselbrock. Gesselbrock spelled Gesselbracht.
The T is silent.
The T is silent. He's a 65% passer, but tonight, King has forced him into 3 of 8. Maybe a little nervous being on the road in a big-time game and environment. It'd be understandable.
Yeah, and that's why we talked about it pregame. Don't be scared. You got to play.
Trips to the right, throw right side. This is Chauncey Willis, stays on his feet, and he gets across the 15-yard line. And he's darn near Well, he's 5 yards shy with a penalty.
And we saw it with Moeller on the first drive. When you give your wide receiver momentum going forward, they're able to pick up those extra yards, and a great throw by Moore, giving his wide receiver a chance to push forward, just take all his momentum when he caught that ball.
Another respectable block on the outside by Lynn Weichel, the senior wide receiver. So 3rd and 4. Big play here for the Moeller defense with a chance to get a stop. Moore swings it left side. Has his man Anderson, and Anderson is stopped just short of the first down.
Yeah, Mitch McNulty came out of nowhere and was able to take out his legs. Nobody blocked him on this wide receiver screen. That's probably one guy you want to get, at least a hand on, because he was able to blow that up in the backfield pretty much.
No doubt. So it'll be punting time for King. There's a man down on the field for Moeller. While we have time, we'll step aside and come on right back in 30 seconds to Detroit. Right now, 7-0 King, about to give the football away. This is the Friday Night Clash, presented by Woodward Sports here on the Prep.
Our students reflect our legacy, come to us seeking knowledge, and bring their own unique swagger to inspire us every day. We are safely doing our part with the best teachers to ensure our students rise. It's true, a certain magic happens in our classrooms, and we are eager to empower and educate every student, Detroit's next legends, to build a stronger Detroit. Enroll today and rise up with DPSCD.
Punting time for Detroit. King, young man for Moeller, up and off the field. These two schools playing for the first time ever. Cincinnati Moeller, or Big Mo as they like to call themselves and be called, Big Mo. They don't go Cincinnati Moeller. We've always called them Cincinnati Moeller, but that's not what they like to be called, so we'll respect that.
It's like our producer, Big Al.
Yes, it's his birthday, is it not?
Happy birthday, Big Al.
Our executive producer, Alex Westfall's birthday is today, and we are going to celebrate. And we appreciate Alex's 365 days around the sun. 4th and 4 for King.
And the injured player that was down for Moeller, number 11, Rashad Glenn, looking like he just had a cramp, so he was able to kind of walk off the field. So that's a good sign.
It's always good. Always good news.
End of the quarter.
Okay. Running clock. Very good. We'll take it with them. So, end of the first quarter, 7-0 King in our Friday Night Clash. We're coming back to Lorenzo Wright Stadium right after this.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
Well, you take a look at these two schools and what they've got cooking. King, of course, a public school from the Detroit Public School League. 1,055 kids. Meanwhile, Moeller, all boys, private, from the GCL, the South Division in Division 1. And King is in Division 3. 9 state titles for Moeller in football, 4 for Detroit King.
Yeah, but we got American Coney Island.
American Coney Island is our chili dog, our Coney dog. Your chili dog, Coney dog, is Skyline Chili.
And they put it on noodles, Chad.
And I will say,
noodles.
It's not my favorite Skyline Chili. Here we go. There's a lot of great things in Ohio. Skyline Chili, not one of them. My humble opinion. There's a punt that's going to roll, and this is going to work out. It's going to roll all the way down to the 20-yard line. So from the 14 to the 20, that's a banger of a punt for Moeller. While we've got time, let's go down to the sidelines and check in with our third member of this crew, Joey Radio.
It is a beautiful night here in Detroit at Martin Luther King Jr. High School, and my favorite thing is when you see the basketball team coming out to support the football squad. I'm here with AJ and Dan. How you guys doing?
We're doing good today. A little bit cold out here.
Yeah, so what's it like, coming out to support the football team? Do they always come on out to watch you guys play?
Always. It's just a good experience to come out and watch them play and win.
Especially when we have a team from Ohio. What's a message we got for a team from Ohio coming to Detroit?
They coming here to lose. They coming here to lose.
Let's see. Back to the field. Here we go.
Thank you very much, Joey. Appreciate that. The King basketball team is a good one, led by George Ward. And we see a play here, and Moeller makes a big play in the passing game. What happened here, Stick?
Yeah, this is the second time that he's been able to get wide open. This seam route seems to be open. And they got to keep an eye on number 10 to Neil Bryant because he's got some wheels and he is abusing the center of the field.
After a 65-yard punt, a big pass play has Moeller inside King territory. Handoff to Marshall. He spun around and dropped. Lead tackler that time, number 4. That's Kenny Merriweather, the outside linebacker, Stick.
And that's what they couldn't do earlier in the game. Remember I was talking about they couldn't contain. That time, beautiful job of the defensive end, turning the running back up the field to his help, and they were able to clear it out with just a short 1 to 2 yard gain. Excellent defense by King on that play.
It was a 46-yard pass play for Gesselbrock. 2nd and 8.
He throws a nice deep ball, man.
He really does. Very accurate. Motion left to right by Bryant. Now an empty backfield. Gesselbrock in trouble, and down he goes from behind, and who else? Double nickels. Mr. Terrence Mays.
And once he gets those big paws on you, you are not going anywhere. Look at it. He tries to get away, but no, that is like a huge anchor being attached to you. You are going down.
How about big Mr. Mays last week? Lighting it up. He had 9 tackles. He was part of our triage of players of the week. He had 9 tackles and also 3 tackles for loss and a sack and a half.
He reminds me of Sean Rogers. Remember the old Lion Sean Rogers, the way he plays?
Yeah. Is that Big Baby?
Yep.
There's a screen pass set up, and Gesselbrock took a hit afterwards and paid for it. Another errant pass, and he got thrown to the turf.
Yeah, and Weeder is limping off the field. But look, if we could keep it on the quarterback, I'm not sure if we kept it on him the whole time. But his head hit the turf when he fell down, and that seemed to kind of make him a little woozy. So he's going to get checked out on the sidelines. But to lose your quarterback and your running back on the same play, probably not a huge vote of confidence right now for Moeller.
Things went south in a hurry for Moeller after the big pass play. So here comes the punt. This is Landon Jacon Duffy, the snapper, and Kurt Thompson will get it away. And this is banged inside the 20. There's a flag down late, and the official saw something he didn't like. So 7-0 Detroit King, the number 1 team in the state of Michigan, a team that's ranked nationally, number 95 last week. And Michigan versus Ohio, Detroit versus Cincinnati, some of the best in the state coming together tonight. This is wonderful. So far, 7-0, a low-scoring affair, Stick. Were you surprised a bit at that?
I mean, it's a low-scoring affair, but the yardage has been insane. I think we have over 300 yards of total offense between the two teams, but only 7 points on the board. So they've been moving back and forth up and down the field. They just haven't been able to put points on the board.
Yep. King, again this week, Stick, getting doubled up in plays. They've run just 9 plays compared to 21 for Moeller. Last week, they didn't get a lot of plays off either. 35 plays compared to 54 for Cass Tech. So their offense is like, hey, let's get some work.
Yeah.
We need some work.
Yeah, and they've been showing out pretty well in this first quarter. We're not even through the first half yet.
Yep.
I was trying to figure out the penalty situation going on with King, but it looked like an illegal substitution, so I'm not sure if the offense is coming back on the field or not.
Yeah. Well, we take a look at a lost and fallen member of Detroit King this past last week, Fernando Massey, a guy that was very dependable, loyal, loving, a career Crusader, a guy that also was the head coach of track and field here at King. He was a food manager in the cafeteria. He was a very, very good patron and loved Detroit King. And very sad to see the passing of Fernando Massey last week. God rest his soul. And we'll dedicate this broadcast to him and his family. Back to the action, 9:40 left. Handoff left side, broken tackle. And what was the call, Stick? It's Moeller football after they punted it away.
Yeah, it was an illegal substitution, I believe. That's what happened. So
that's a big penalty.
That is a huge penalty.
Defensive penalty on King.
Yep. And they were
illegal participation.
Yeah, so illegal substitution, legal participation.
Yeah, same thing. You're right.
Yep, but on that play right there, Messiah Blair had a chance to take down that play in the backfield, but he was able to squeeze out of that tackle. And we haven't seen Whedon come back on the field.
Gesselbrock doesn't want to run unless he has to, but he can, and he does there on 2nd down and 8. Takes off and gets a few yards. And he's getting inside that red zone, Stick, and that's where Moeller's had trouble. We'll see if they can attack here. What did you see on this play?
Yeah, you have the wide open area. You got to take it. I mean, those are free yards if the defense is going to give it to you. It's man on man, so that means the defensive backs, their backs are towards you. So you just take the free yardage, make it a manageable 3rd down. Now it's 3rd and 1 instead of 3rd and 8 if you try to squeeze in a pass.
Gesselbrock last week, 23 of 33 against the number 1 team, St. Ed's, as this play is stuffed on 3rd and short. We'll see what the call is here. But Gesselbrock did his part, 268 yards and 2 touchdowns and no picks. What happened here?
I mean, just gang tackling is what happened there.
How about that D-line?
Yeah, you're pretty much running into the entire D-line of Martin Luther King, and that's their strength, so I'm not sure if that's the recipe you want to have moving forward if you're Moeller trying to run straight at these guys. They've had success on the edges when they've had their big runs.
Loss of 3, loss of 2 on the play. So here we go again, their 3rd 4th down play of this game already.
And they love to go to the flats on these.
From the 24-yard line, Gesselbrock throws it down the middle, and it is intercepted by King and picked off by Devin Brown. So a turnover on downs after Devin Brown picks it, and King gets another stop on 4th down, their 3rd of the game.
Yeah, if I'm Moeller, I'm okay with that. It's the same thing as an incomplete pass. But the fact of the matter is, they almost could have completed
He almost caught it.
Yeah, it bounced off the defender, then bounced off the receiver, then back to a defender, and now Martin Luther King has the ball 1st and 10. But what a tremendous defensive stop. I mean, how many 4th down stops can you get in one game? Like, eventually, the law of averages got to come out, unless you're talking about Dan Campbell and the Lions.
That's right. Another look at this thing, and Gesselbrock just trying to get it. He looks for Caddis. This is the right guy, and you said it. He almost caught it twice.
Yeah.
Before Dowdell picks this thing off.
Yeah, Devin Brown was able to tip
it.
Yeah, Devin Brown was able to tip it, and then it went off the receiver. Then Devin Brown was able to pick it. So, good things happen to good people.
So here we go. Dante Moore, right side, steps up, throws a comeback route. It's too low, well defended by Moeller. It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, you saw him drop down sidearm on that release, and I don't think that's exactly what you want to be doing, and that's kind of why the ball went low, because it was kind of more of like skipping a stone instead of throwing a football. But they had his feet moving. He was uncomfortable in the pocket, and it came out low.
We had another quarterback here in Detroit that kind of did that thing, that sidearm thing. He's
Yeah.
no longer here.
No, we get to see him this weekend, though.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
7:58 to go, 2nd quarter, 7-0 King. Throw, comeback route, caught. It's Joe Williams at the 30. It's enough for a 1st down, move the chains. That's Dante Moore at his best.
You stole the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, that's Dante Moore at his best. Hitting his wide receiver literally before he turns around. That's timing. That's practice. Then that's one thing the head coach for Martin Luther King was talking about earlier in the week. I asked him what the difference is between this team and other teams, and he said these guys play for each other. They spend the time with each other.
How about that?
Yeah. They go to movies together. They hang out together.
I like that.
And those are successful teammates.
Sure is. Carson Hobbs was covering tightly on that. Throw left side, and catch is made. This is Mercier, and it's a gain of none. This is well defended on the perimeter by Big Mo.
Yeah, you like to put your athletes in space one-on-one, but the Moeller player was able to get the best of them this time.
Like the...
Yeah, Matthew Selgia.
Saliga, I
Saliga.
think. Yeah, it's hard with these Moeller, some of these Moeller names.
Sorry,
these darn Moeller
sorry,
names.
Mr. and Mrs. Saliga.
Yeah, it's Saliga. That's curveball once in a while. 2nd and 10 for King from the left hash. Moore in the shotgun. He's going to turn, give, hand. This is Terrence Brown. Brown's going to have a first down and more across the 48 to the 50-yard line. And a healthy gain there. Move the chains for King.
And a little bit of change of pace on that run. Like midway through that rush, he kind of slowed down, and it screwed up the angle of pursuit from the Moeller defender. Watch, he slows down right here, a little bit slow, and then he sped up again, and number 8 wasn't able to get his angle.
Yeah, Lamont Cox, the safety's been a busy man. 6:43 to go. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take it with him. 7-0 King over the visitors. Archbishop Moeller, first trip to Detroit since they took on Novi Detroit Catholic Central back in 2012. We're back in a moment. This is the Friday Night Clash.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
At Detroit Public Schools Community District, our students reflect our legacy, seek knowledge, and inspire us every day. Magic happens in our classrooms where we educate every student to build a stronger Detroit. Enroll today and rise up with DPSCD.
Well, when you beat Cass Tech twice in the same season, sometimes you get honors, and this guy deserves them. Tyrone Spencer, the head coach in his 6th year for Detroit Martin Luther King, got the win last week against Cass Tech. His team is the best team in the city of Detroit, the best team in the state of Michigan. They're number 1 ranked in Division III. They're number 1 ranked overall, and he was honored as the Detroit Lions coach of the week this past week. Ty Spencer, a King grad of 03, a Wayne State grad of 06, and good for him. He deserves this.
Yeah, and what an honor. And he said it was unexpected. You know, he got a call from his AD, and he's like, hey, I got somebody on the other line for you. And then next thing you know, he's up for this award for the Detroit Lions. And what a great honor, and he earned every bit of it. With whatever happened at halftime last week, whatever he said to convince his team to come back from 15-0 to come back and win 21-15.
Yes.
He deserves it. So congratulations, Coach.
Ty Spencer knows the guy from across the way. That's Mark Elder, the head coach. There's Ty Spencer. Good look at him. Former defensive back at Wayne State under Paul Winters. Mark Elder was the defensive coordinator at Wayne State, Moeller's head coach in 2004. And Ty Spencer came in from Grand Rapids Community College, was recruited by Elder, who was the defensive coordinator under Paul Winters, who's done a fabulous job at Wayne State in his 17th year. And Ty Spencer and Mark Elder put this game together. And it's good things when great people and teams and programs come together to create something this cool. There's a pass over the middle that's just dropped. Weichel, the intended receiver. Dante threw a dagger and a dart, and it should have been caught.
And that was going to go a distance. That was a wide receiver middle screen, and it was wide open. Look at the gang of blockers he has in front of him. Woo! Ooh. Very lucky that ball was dropped.
Yes, sir. The injured Moeller player is number 5, Jack Sellers, a reserve linebacker. We hope he's okay. 6:36 to go, 7-0 King. They're on the move at the mid-stripe. Dante pitches. Left side. This is Brown, Terrence Brown, the running back, and he's got some room. Thanks to his left side of the offensive line stick, a lot of movement there. Jonathan Slack, a kid who's got offers from a handful of Power 5s, including Michigan State, Cincinnati, Arizona State, carving some path there.
Yeah, look at this seal on the outside. 15 gets sealed, 46 gets sealed, and the running back's able to pick up, about 8 yards on that play. So beautiful, beautiful call.
Yes, sir. They'll look back to the King sideline. Their offensive set, spread multiple, usually one back, sometimes two. They're a pretty 50-50 They like to throw it, pass it evenly if they can. Terrell Patrick is their offensive coordinator, by the way. The throw is right side and caught. It was 3rd and 5, and they got 6 and a first down. Move the chains. This time, is that Mr. Mercier? It is. Rashawn Mercier.
Yeah, and once again, I love getting your quarterback on the edge, giving him a little bit of more time, rolling him out, and just getting in the rhythm. All you needed was 5 yards, and that's an easy pitch and catch for King all day long.
Isaiah Summerlin with a tackle. Lanky junior defensive back for Big Mo. The Crusaders. Crusader on Crusader crime. Throw, left side, man in space and loose. That's Anderson. And he's pushed out of bounds after a nice pitch and catch.
Penalty.
There is a flag down, and this one might be coming back.
Yeah, that's from the area of holding on your wide receiver. And that's when you're running these flat outs, or 90 now is what we used to call them, or just getting your corner, or just getting your running back to the flat. You're going to run into that with your wide receivers every once in a while. But those are the penalties you'll take, okay? I don't mind that. That's aggressive blocking by my wide receiver down the field.
Yeah, who do they get on that? They get number 2 or 6. Either Chauncey Willis or Lynn Weichel. Sorry to call them both out. They're both darn good players who are headed to play Division I basketball and football, respectively. Chauncey, of course, a 2-sport star, Division I basketball guy. His coach says if he focused on football, he'd be an NFL wide receiver. He had a game-winning 74-yard touchdown catch last week against Cass Tech. And they come from behind 21-15 win over the Technicians, who are 2 miles from here. Throw left side. This is the aforementioned Willis, and he's out of bounds after a short gain on 1st and 15 stick.
You're getting the feeling that King is just kind of taking little shots, and eventually they're going to take a nice 40-yard shot at the end zone, because right now that's just kind of been a check down game. Get them in space. But eventually they're going to go for it.
And it's funny because it's been the other way on Moeller.
Right.
They've gone deep.
Going for it, right.
They're really gunning. So it's an interesting philosophy. Both teams have had their success. The difference of the game is Moeller hasn't executed on 4th down.
You see Moeller playing more press coverage now, though.
Yep. Play action. Dante evades one man, evades a second man, wants to run, open space, and slides. And his teammates want a flag to the 30. But you see why Dante Moore is special. He can do it a couple of ways.
And just very patient. That's the thing. Even on the run, it was patient. He could have taken off a couple of times, but he kept looking down the field, kept his eyes down the field, and decided, you know what, okay, I've had enough. I'm going to pick up this amount of yards. We're 1 yard short. Now we can get it on 3rd.
So it's 3rd and 2 for King, who's on the move and trying to add to their 7-0 lead with 3.5 to go until halftime. He's got Williams at the bottom of your screen to the right. And Dante Moore's in trouble, and Big Mo's got a TFL on a big 3rd down play. And that RPO went south, my friend, in a hurry.
Yeah, Brandon Martin was able to get in the backfield and absolutely blow that up, but so was the rest of the Moeller defense. I'm not exactly sure what the play call was there. In my head, I was thinking they should run a quarterback draw here, maybe something like that. But it looked like their typical RPO. They just couldn't get the ball off.
Yep, so it's 4th and forever, and now Moeller has a chance to turn the tide and get a 4th down stop. Is it 4th down? Yeah. Okay. 4th and 8 officially from the 38. Dante in trouble, and he goes down. The ball is loose and picked up by Moeller. It doesn't matter who picked it up. Moeller's got their 4th down stop, and they've got momentum for the boys from Cincy.
Yeah, and I think they found something, too, on defense, because they are putting pressure on Martin Luther King constantly. They are not able to block this pass rush at all. And you see Moore try to get the ball off, but then number 46 swoops in. He was able to pick it up, and that's a big moment for Joseph Giannetti right there.
No surprise, Giannetti, their leading tackler, 53 tackles to lead not just his team but his conference this year.
All right, so if you're Martin Luther King's defense, you got to respond here. There's plenty of time on the clock. You know that Moeller is going to look for number 10 down the middle at some point, so you better be on the lookout for that.
Yep. They have teamed up Tennell Bryant, number 10, and Noah Gesselbrock in this game. Gesselbrock Loose now, rolling right, has a lot of green in front of him, has to run and will, and he'll get a solid 8 yards before he trucks over somebody on the Moeller sideline.
It's the guy holding up the first down marker.
Gesselbrock says, hey, look, I can do it with my legs too.
Yeah, well, if there's nobody out in front of you like that, you should do it with your legs. So good for him. He picks up, 8 on that, so It's 2nd and 2.
Chasing him out of bounds for King was number 29. That's Corey Webb, the junior defensive back. So 2nd down and 2 for Moeller. Caddis in motion left to right. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Gesselbrock lobs it up for Caddis, and this time he hauls it in. Caddis went up, got both feet in, and he's got himself a first down for Moeller inside the 35 down to the 33.
Yeah, Moeller's done really well when they've run these kind of wheel routes. They start the inside wide receiver, then have him loop up the sideline. That's 2 or 3 times that he was wide open. They just haven't been able to convert until that.
Gesselbrock perhaps got a little bailed out there by Mr. Caddis, who's committed to be a Cat in Kentucky. 2:06 to go. 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. Jordan Marshall has room. 20 inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. A gain of 20 on the play, and with under 2 minutes to go till halftime, Big Mo is knocking on the door.
Yeah, you can tell Martin Luther King is kind of on their heels here. They just pursued up the field a little too far, and they were able to get him with the draw right up the middle. Great run by number 24, Jordan Marshall.
Marshall, a big-time running back, just a sophomore, got time last year as a freshman. He's their leading rusher, and he's got a little better build to him. He's 6'1", 190, and he has great hands also out of the backfield.
Now is where Moeller's had trouble the first half of this game. They're in that position to where they haven't been able to score.
Marshall with 11 touchdowns this year. He stays in the game on 1st and 10. Looking right, looking end zone, and incomplete. Well covered down there by number 21. And that young man we called a lot tonight, that's Terrence Brown, who we've called on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they were hand fighting a little bit, but he was able to turn his head around, and I think that's what saved him. When you're able to do that as a defensive back, it shows the official that you're playing the ball, not the man.
That's right. The intended receiver is not one that we've called much this year, Josiah Love, the junior, but he's a good-sized target. On 2nd and 10, right side, Gesselbrock to the corner of the end zone, touchdown Moeller! And they're an extra point away of tying things up before halftime. The most unlikely of sources to run in the rock, and he's got his team an extra point away from knotting it up.
Well, you said an unlikely source, and that's why it works. You fake the handoff to the running back. Everybody's going to dive on him because you haven't seen Gesselbrock do that much throughout the entire season. And there it is, just wide open, easiest touchdown that he's going to see in a long time.
So the snap from Giannetti, the hold from Weeder, and the attempted PAT from William Steele. The snap is high, the hold is good, and the kick is true, and we are tied at 7. How about it? Gesselbrock into the end zone. A 13-yard touchdown run and stick. He fooled everybody, including us.
Yeah, nobody expected him to keep the ball. Our cameraman got a good, nice shot of that, so heads up to the cameraman. Good job for him.
You can't fool Kyle Buchanan.
You cannot, or Big Al, especially on his birthday.
That's right, or Rob.
Yeah, nice touchdown.
So it's a drive that totals just 1:38. It took 5 plays, 53 yards later, and it's a Moeller touchdown that ties this game. Into the end zone is Gesselbrock, and this is a guy who this year has not done a lot, we told you, with his legs. It's been mainly with the air. He has 22 touchdown passes, but running the ball this year, just 1 touchdown. This is his 2nd of the season.
Yeah, well, if he's wide open like that, I'm sure he's going to have plenty more on the season because that was a great play call. They set that up throughout the entire first half, and he was able to run around the outside, get his touchdown. Now, if you're Moeller, how are you feeling? Like, you've been able to move the ball. You've only been bogged down on 4th downs. You feel like you're dominating this game, but you're not on the scoreboard, which is the only place that matters if you're dominating the game. But they got to be feeling pretty good about themselves going into the second half.
I think so. William Steele to boot it. Steel-toed boot is down to the 10. And the return by Anderson is up across the 30-yard line. So here comes Detroit King with 1:10 to go, led by Dante King and an offense that's put up 43 points this year per average. And we'll see what Detroit King does here with 1:10 left. A conservative approach, I ask you, or do you air it out and go for this thing?
You know me. I air it out and I go for this thing. I mean, what are we doing here? You only get one shot. It's Friday night. It's homecoming. Beautiful weather. You got to go for it. Your crowd's packed. And you have the best quarterback in the state. You can trust him, right?
That's right.
If it was me playing quarterback, no, we're running 3 plays and getting out of here.
Yep. Moeller trying to stop King's 7-game win streak. King stays on the ground, and he gets licked. That's Sterling Anderson on the right side. If you're wondering about timeouts, we'll get you updated on how many timeouts. King has all 3 left.
Yeah, Joseph Giannetti came in on that and laid the wood, just absolutely pile drived him.
Got a little double pop there. Back to pass. Moore looking left side. Got a man caught. That's Lynn White-L, and that's into Moeller territory. So a pitch and catch, and King's got it going with Moore and White-L. We saw this combo last week.
My goodness, to be able to roll left when you're a right-hander and then cut across your body and make that throw, that is why he's a D1 prospect.
Yes, sir. This time it's Joe Williams right side, and he gets across the middle in a long developing play that wasn't what King really wanted in this time frame.
No, I mean, it was a wide receiver screen, but he spent more time running east and west than north and south, and ended up costing him in the end.
Yep. Moeller has knocked off St. Ed's, who they beat last week, the #1 team in the state of Ohio, and St. Ignatius, both Cleveland schools, for the first time in the same season in school history. This is a rich football school. There's other sports that are rich there too. Baseball, we'll get to that later. But I mean, hey, you look at it, Stick, and you knock off St. Ed's, you knock off St. Ignatius, and you did all this after you're coming off a year. It's Mark Elder's second year, where he won 3 games last year. 3.
Well, you know, like we were talking about, sometimes kids are late bloomers, sometimes programs bloom a little bit late, and then it takes teams time to develop and play together, and last year's team is definitely not this year's team.
COVID year, first year in a program, you get it, but at Moeller, you win 3 games. They're going to look at you sideways like you've got 3 eyes.
And let's be honest, they didn't have Noah Gesselbach.
That's right.
Year, that's made a huge difference this year.
Yeah, they did not get Gesselbach till partway of that season, and what a discovery he's been. And for this program, for Archbishop Moeller, the #6 rated team in the state of Ohio. And Mark Elder, the head coach, second year, Cincinnati native, said he grew up 3 miles from Moeller High School. He did not go to Moeller High School. He went to the public school. He went to Sycamore High School and would go on later to Case Western and graduate and play football. But, hey, this is a guy that has been at Division I programs, a head coach and defensive coordinator at D1 schools.
Yeah, he was at University of Michigan for a while too, wasn't he?
That's right. Moore in trouble, has to get rid of it, and he throws it away. So that was on 2nd and 10. That brings up 3rd down now and 7 with 33 seconds left. And I believe there's 2 timeouts remaining for King. Yes.
Now this is another good area. They had that middle screen working earlier in the game. They just kind of dropped it. If I'm King, I'm maybe calling that play again, because you know they're going to bring the pressure like they did on that last play.
Interesting to see what this offense can create, this spread offense that has torched teams this year. They were scoreless last week, though, at half, and have just scored 7 this week. Good job for Moeller's defense. Handoff up the middle, not much doing there. Great open field tackle by Matthew Saliga, the safety. 26 seconds left, 4th down and a timeout. And you're kind of in no man's land here, but how about that tackle that time by Mr. Saliga?
That was a great tackle, but I feel like 21 was not able to just plant his foot in the ground and get that extra yard. He kind of wanted to go east and west like we saw earlier in the drive. Sometimes you just got to put that foot in the ground, plant it, and go forward. All you need is that 1st down.
That's right. Coming up at halftime, we'll have our top 10 plays of last week. And, of course, last week we called the PSL Championship. Detroit King and Cass Tech. Cass Tech, by the way, beat Orchard Lake St. Mary's yesterday 40-13, I believe.
Ouch.
and it will not be enough to get Cass into the playoffs, unfortunately. So some people think it may not.
Wow.
Even that win, they're up against it. They needed a lot of help tonight, and we'll try to get you updated on all the help that they need and other scores from around the league. 26 seconds left, 4th and 1 for King. You got a choice here. If you don't get this, you get the other team a short field.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pick up the 1 yard to give myself some options.
Moore in the shotgun. Moore's going to take it himself. He'll have the first down. And King's going to call a timeout immediately with 21 seconds left. So move the chains.
I like that call, though. Like I was saying, now you have options. Now you have 4 plays, essentially, to throw it into the end zone. If you get 3 incomplete passes, you're not going to take up 20 seconds.
Clock is running, 15 seconds left. Moore's got to hurry. In trouble, evades pressure, throws downfield, incomplete. And with 7 seconds left, you got maybe 1 play left. Now, King has had Hail Marys. They know about Hail Marys.
Yeah, well, they got beat on one earlier in the season.
We'll see if they can't turn the tide here.
Yeah, and then last week they had 3 penalties called on them, or called for them going into the half, and they were able to prolong. They weren't able to put the ball in the end zone eventually, but the penalties kept the half alive for 3 extra plays forever, ever.
It was a game that saw 25 penalties last week, 15 against Cass Tech and 10 against King, and a game that took forever. I think I got home when the bars had been closed.
That had nothing to do with the game.
It had nothing to do with the game, but it tells you how late I got home.
Yeah.
2nd and 10, 7 seconds left for Moore. Might be the final play. Throw over the middle, and it is knocked away. Great closing speed by Thomas Steins, the safety. And that'll be the final play of the half as it ends on a nice defensive play.
I don't know. Should that be the final play of the half?
Well, I'm not sure if there is time left.
There should be at least 3 seconds left. That was an incomplete pass with about 2 or 3 seconds.
Well, we're working through it.
Yeah, it looks like the refs are going to get this together and get a couple seconds back on the clock.
Is Moeller running the clock today?
Did we give him access?
3 seconds back on the clock the official has asked for, and they will do that.
And this was almost picked off. The Moeller defender was able to hop right in front of that. That was number 4, Thomas Steins.
Yeah.
And then you see number 6,
Weichel
limping off.
Yep.
He's had a big first half. He's a good player in space.
So they've put 2 seconds back on the clock.
There we go.
And much like last week, who knows? We can't trust that 2 seconds will end it. A penalty could certainly end it. And last week it took 3 penalties before the half ended.
Well, you got the number 1 quarterback in the state. I trust him to put the ball to a place where only his wide receiver is going to catch it. I'm not throwing anything underneath. If it's not in the end zone, it's really not worth it on this play.
And now we've got a timeout more. They'll talk it over. We'll talk it over as well. We're back in 30 seconds with the final play, perhaps, of the Friday Night Clash. Right after this, we're tied at 7 in Motown.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
We want to thank our food sponsor tonight. What an honor to have food from American Coney Island right down the street on Lafayette. Outstanding Conies.
The best.
Gyros, you name it. Thank you so much, Grace, and all the folks at American Coney Island. They're located, of course, on West Lafayette, just down the street in Detroit. Check them out after the game. American Coney Island, legendary in Detroit, and it's run by the granddaughter, Grace Quiros, making them the oldest family-owned restaurant in Detroit, and, of course, the best Coney dogs that are world famous, and also in Vegas. Final play of the half. Dante looking right side, got a man dropped at the 10. He was looking for Mercier, And I'm not sure they would have had anything after that anyway.
Yeah, that drop really doesn't hurt them. He would have had to make about 17 missed tackles in order to get that ball in the end zone. I'm not really sure about that play call. You know Brown can throw the ball in the end zone. You got to give yourself a chance. You have to.
Yeah. Well, we'll come on back with our top 10 plays of the week from last week's PSL championship game between Cass Tech and King. At the break, we've got a deadlock 7-7, and a wonderful border battle is underway. Glad you're with us. We're coming right back to halftime on the Preps coverage of the Friday Night Clash presented by Woodward Sports.
Man! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame.
Don't ride the bike of shame. Get tons of equipment and free fitness training. Join today for just $10 a month.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Our students reflect our legacy, come to us seeking knowledge, and bring their own unique swagger to inspire us every day. We are safely doing our part with the best teachers to ensure our students rise. It's true, a certain magic happens in our classrooms, and we are eager to empower and educate every student, Detroit's next legends, to build a stronger Detroit. Enroll today and rise up with DPSCD.
It is Joey from Woodward Sports here, halftime with Planet Fitness, and I am joined with Coach Tyrone Spencer. And before we get started, I just wanted to congratulate you, obviously being recognized from the Detroit Lions as the head coach of the week. How does that feel?
Appreciate it. It feels good, man. It feels good to be recognized. You know, it's a team effort, and the coaches did a great job as well.
Especially for you, I mean, being here as the head coach in your 6th season at King, being a graduate, that's got to feel amazing to be here taking care of your team.
Oh, yeah, it does, man. There's nothing like, you know, doing something here at your home school, making a difference in the community. It's great.
I got to be honest, from that first drive when Moeller came out, I was like, these guys are coming out hard. What was it that you guys changed about your defense? Because you guys stopped them good for the rest of the half.
Yeah, we made a couple adjustments that we had to do and just play our brand of ball. They run a couple things on offense that we haven't seen, so they had to get used to it. But, you know, coming back strong, made some solid stops, and we just got to – we get the ball this half, we got to score coming up.
You told the boys, you said, go up in the end zone. I'm going to be waiting there for you.
Yep.
What is it you're going to go in there and tell them?
I'm going to tell them, hey, we got to play our ball. We still haven't put together our best game yet, so we got to put together our best half right here.
And we saw it last week, that comeback against Cass Tech. Good luck to the rest of you the rest of this half. Thanks again, and congratulations, our head coach of the week. It's about to be head coach for another week, Coach. Woodward Sports, back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Joey. 7-7 at the break. With King and Moeller, we've got top 10 plays coming at you from last week's matchup. We'll talk at that next, right here on the Preps coverage of the Friday Night Clash presented by Woodward Sports.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
Seven of 10 now is more. Pass is intercepted. Picked off along the right sideline.
Intercepted.
Hodges with a pick.
Number 2, Sean Hodges with the interception for the technician.
Wow, that one snuck up.
Well, you saw Dante Moore kind of, I don't want to say panic on that, but he was just trying to get rid of the ball, and he didn't get enough arm strength on it to get it out of bounds. If you could see, he's under a lot of pressure. He had hands on him at the time he threw that. I think he was just trying to get it out of bounds, but he didn't have enough leverage to do it.
Mumfield looking end zone and intercepted. Another pick by King in the end zone. and they're going to run it out. Sideline right on the run. Leaps a player at the 40, inside the 40, but there's a flag down, and we'll await this one. Shocker. What a play, though.
Looks like they're calling pass interference.
Pass interference, and so not only is it wiped out yardage-wise, it's still Cass Tech football.
I'm waiting to see what the official call is here.
Oh, you're right. It is an interception, isn't it?
Yeah, they're running King out there. They're running the offense out there.
It is King football. 8:32 to go, fourth quarter, and here comes Cass. That ball skims off of Cass Tech's return man, and that goes out of bounds at the 3-yard line. And this is all going towards King right now. Field position, a trouble spot for Cass.
Yeah, what I say in the first half, what can go wrong will go wrong for Martin Luther King. Now they're on the other side of that coin. The law of averages always works out.
A wonky ball to try to pick up, and a tough play. Stands at his own 20. And he pops this spiral kick down to the 40. And that ball is loose. Weichel lost it. And Cass Tech says they have it. And they do. We've seen a wet pigskin all night. And Lynn Weichel coughs it up. And the technicians are going to go in for a little bit more. Three to the left, one to the right. Watch Gardner here. The southpaw, Mumfield, has pressure, going to step up and run, and has a first down and more across the 40 to the right sideline and out of bounds at the 24-yard line. There you see him do it with his legs. He is a dual threat partner, undersized, but giant indeed. 7 minutes left. We're tied at 15. Oof. Third and long. Mumfield from his end zone. Throws out of it. Pass is picked off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, King. Weichel. King with a defensive touchdown pick. And they're on top and on a 21-0 run.
Wow, is all I got to say. It was a high snap. He was under pressure immediately. He's calling for his wide receivers to go down the field, but a tip ball, this is the old-fashioned Nelly tip drill. You take it, you run it into the end zone.
Fabulous play by number 29, Corey Webb, to force the deflection. This punt is taken by Cass, and it is taken up the right side by Sean Hodges, and he's going to carry inside the 20 down to the 15. Hodges takes the King punt after the safety, and with 2 seconds left, is already inside that red zone. Fourth down and 15 and more in trouble. Going to step up. Now he creates space and time as a man in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Touchdown, Joseph Williams. And King is on the board. In a desperation heave, Dante wins.
This is all the quarterback making the play with his legs, and you always you go against running one way and throwing across your body, but when you have arm strength like he does, you can make that throw, and 13 was just standing at the end zone line ready to catch the ball.
Throw over the middle, and that pass is caught at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Gardner.
Touchdown.
Jameel Gardner into the end zone, and Cass Tech has taken a 15-0 lead.
He snatched that ball. You know the term snatch? Like, that's exactly what that was. That ball was in the air. He was able to snatch it in front of two King defenders, and they ran into each other. like it was like a movie, like you see it in the movie. The two defenders ran into each other. He was able to catch the ball and get into the end zone. And, yeah, point at that ball, young man. You just took it to the house. What a great catch.
Right side, Dante, comeback route, caught right side. This is Weichel, stiff arm down the right sideline. He could go. Touchdown, King! Chauncey Willis.
Three things that impressed me on that play. One, the throw. It was purposely behind his wide receiver so he could come back and get the ball. You're going to see that. Two, the stiff arm. Derrick Henry-esque stiff arm right here. Boom, get off me. And three, the official running with the wide receiver all the way down the field. Look at the wheels on the official on that one.
Oh, man. Matthew Nickens ate some turf.
Our students come to us seeking knowledge, skills, and confidence necessary to thrive in our city, our nation, and our world. They reflect the legacy and pride of those who came before them and bring their own unique swagger, their best selves to inspire us every day. To keep that spirit high, everyone must come together and do their part to ensure our students rise. It begins with operating schools safely, with the best teachers providing engaging instruction, offering great programs, reducing class size, and connecting with our families. It's true, a certain magic happens in our classrooms, and we are eager to empower and educate every student to build a stronger Detroit. We can't wait to welcome our students, Detroit's next legends. For more information, visit DetroitK12.org or call 313-240-4377. Enroll today and rise up with DPSCD.
You can hear the Motown sound in the air. Welcome back, Martin Luther King High School, as we are tied 7-7 as the Crusaders are playing the Crusaders from Cincinnati Moeller. My name is Stick. Chad Bush is here as well. It's been an intense first half. Really don't know which way this game is going to go. Moeller's controlled the ball up and down the field. They just haven't been able to put it in the red zone, and King has shown flashes that they can move the ball at any time, too. Going back throughout the highlights through the first half, just a couple of touchdowns on the board. For first getting on the board, Martin Luther King, and a great little out pass here to Weichel. Was able to beat his man one-on-one in space and get in for the touchdown. And Martin Luther King took a 7-0 lead. And then right before the half, Moeller was able to get on the board with this Desselbrock RPO option. He was able to fake the handoff, keep it, and nobody expected him for only his second rushing touchdown of the year. Big play to tie up the game, and here we are. It is halftime live. Chad Bush is back, and we've enjoyed that first half. And Joey's about to be on the field to do his $10,000 kick.
All right, we got a lot going on here, and thank you for taking that. Halftime's a few minutes away, but as we expected, we got an instant classic brewing here down on the boulevard. Thanks for hanging out. 7 for King, 7 for Moeller. Both these teams top 10 in their state. We told you the difference a little bit. A public school in Detroit King, private school for Archbishop Moeller.
Yep.
But both these schools well respected and have had some dominance. King's been a little bit more in recent years, winning last in 2018. Moeller's been a little bit in later years, 70s, 80s, 90s. But hey, look, both power programs putting out, showing out tonight. This is fun to watch so far.
Yeah, and that's what you love about football. It doesn't matter, private school, public school, it doesn't matter. Once you're between the lines, it's 100 yards, and you got to hit each other and make things happen. And that's what we love about letting it play out on the field. So we're tied 7-7. We got more coming at you from Martin Luther King High School coming up next right here on The Prep by Woodward Sports.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
so the interscholastic athletes may thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stands should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game!
Welcome back to Detroit. This is the Friday Night Clash. My name is Chad Bush. He is Sam Stick Day. Executive producer tonight is Alex Westfall. Joey Radio is on the sidelines. Glad to be with you. This is the Preps coverage of the Friday Night Clash. Let's take a look inside the numbers of the first half. Martin Luther King with 12 first downs to 9 for Moeller. Meanwhile, the rushing yards imbalanced. It was Moeller doubling up King on the ground, 120 to 61. You recall Moeller last week, just 50 yards on the ground. And you recall last week for King, just 30 yards on the ground. In the air is where King did most of their magic, 11 to 17 for Dante Moore. He threw for 121 yards in the first half. Not to be outdone much by the guy who's slinging it over on the other side. And Gesselbrock has also had a solid stat line and yardage, 111 yards, but percentage-wise not at his normal 65% passing percentage. He's 5 of 13 in this game, and he has been picked once and has the 1 touchdown pass. Other stats that stand out in this game, both teams struggling on third down, 1 of 5 for King, 1 of 4 for Moeller. And the fourth down, obviously the big stat also in the first half. Moeller, 3 chances, 0 for 3. 2 of those were at the 7-yard line. That's really the biggest stat in this game. Fourth down, King 1 for 2, and Moeller 0 for 3.
Yeah, another stat on that list as well is the sacks. Moeller has 2 sacks, and you're starting to see them put a lot of pressure on the King quarterback. And, you know, he's poised, he's calm, he's confident, but if they're putting him under pressure like that, he's not going to be able to make the plays that he's traditionally made to put him at the number 3 quarterback in the nation. So King's got to do a better job of protecting him, giving him time, and he's shown that he can pick them apart when he has time.
Yep. Let's get to some scores from around the league. Oak Park is hosting Clarkston, and they're getting beat 35-21. That's in the third quarter. And other scores, Fortson, a team that we covered in Week 5, with a 14-10 lead. That's for the KLAA. I believe that's for the runner-up. Now then, Woodhaven 14, Carlson 14. Woodhaven's the best team downriver. Nate Bush says so. We'll believe it. L'Anse Creuse North 7. And L'Anse Creuse 7 as well. Lake Orion is on the road at Saline. Saline is winning that 17-0, pitching a shutout. This is a score to keep an eye on, and it's relevant for what we're doing here tonight. Rochester Adams is ranked, I believe, in the top 5 in Division I in the state, and most poll stick. They have a slim 7-0 lead in the second quarter to Renaissance. That's kind of an eye-opener. Renaissance did beat Cass Tech, as Rob Sarna noted in the pregame, but there was an asterisk next to it because 50 players were out due to COVID, but Renaissance, keep an eye on that one against Adams. That could be a good battle. Romeo up 2 touchdowns on Anchor Bay. Mike Giannone, the head coach, of course, at Anchor Bay. And Seaholm Birmingham is getting beat, and everybody is headed to Dick O'Dow's. The score there is 29-14, Stony Creek over Seaholm. Utica with a 28-0 lead over Sterling Heights. Tecumseh with a 14-6 lead over Skyline. Lapeer and Davison are tied at 14 apiece. And Stevenson, a team that we covered, is taking on Groves. That's a game that we've done both sides. They're all in the family there. And Stevenson is in a ball game at halftime. They have a 14-7 lead over Groves. That's all the scores for now. We thank Jimmy Janssen and Pat the Stat for their hard work on stats and scores here tonight. Stick, your thoughts in the second half?
I'm looking forward to it. Like, I love the games when I don't know what's going to happen. You know, sometimes you're at a game and you're like, okay, this team's clearly dominant. But the first half was kind of confusing to me. Moeller was dominant. They were moving the ball up and down the field. They were in the red zone. It seemed like every time we turned around, but they only have 7 points on the board. So at one side, they kind of feel bad about themselves. But on the other end, you got to feel great about yourselves. You weren't able to put the ball in the end zone. You were in the red zone like 3 or 4 times. And it's a tie game, so you haven't played your best game, and it's still tied. If I'm Martin Luther King, like I said, I'm working on protecting my quarterback because that is the main thing. That was our focus of the game. You had to get him going, and they haven't been able to as of yet. So I'm looking forward to them coming out in the second half like they did against Cass Tech and really showing some dominance.
And how about the defensive side? King has really shown the ability, and I don't know how much King's defense deserves. I think most of it. But they've really rattled the senior quarterback, Noah Gesselbrock, in this game. His completion percentage is much lower than what it is. How much of that is Moeller, and how much of that is Gesselbrock just not really being in a huge game on the road here tonight?
Well, we've seen him miss some easy throws, so that's on him. But like we were talking to the King coach before during halftime, Joey was interviewing him. He said they saw some things they never saw before, so they had to make some adjustments, and then they made the adjustments. That's what good coaches do, in-game adjustments. So we'll see if that can carry over into the second half. The one adjustment that they didn't make was making sure that Gesselbrock didn't carry the ball into the end zone because nobody saw that coming.
That's right. 258 miles away from home. But Archbishop Moeller getting cozy. They've settled in, and they've tied this baby up at halftime. 7-7. The number 1 team in the state of Michigan, Detroit King, the Crusaders, against the Crusaders from Ohio and Cincinnati and Moeller. 7-7 in the break. Come on back in the prep, won't you?
Man! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame.
Don't ride the bike of shame. Get tons of equipment and free fitness training. Join today for just $10 a month.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
This is week 9. This is the regular season finale for both clubs. Michigan plays one last game. The state of Ohio. This is week 9 for us. Next week is the playoffs in the state of Michigan. King, right now, the number 1 team in Division III, and they will be secure for the MHSAA playoff spot. But this Sunday, Stick, at 5:30 is the announcement of all the playoff slots. The reveal is coming. The Sunday selection show is upon us. It's make or break, and it's all decided this weekend.
Yeah, what an exciting time. When you were in high school, they didn't have Selection Sunday, did they? I don't remember it for us.
They've made it an event.
Yeah, they've really turned it into a thing. I mean, when I was playing, it was if you lost more than 3 games, you weren't going to the playoffs. That was pretty much it.
Playoffs?
Playoffs? You're talking playoffs? But now you can lose 4 games as long as they're against quality opponents and still make the playoffs. So the teams that are teetering on that edge, are excited, they're ready to go, and what a moment it is for them to find out if they're actually going.
And it's a new system this year in Michigan. It's a system that will reward teams on strength of schedule. And this is where playing teams like Moeller, playing teams like King, you're going to get rewarded for bonus points. You could have 3 wins, but if those 3 wins are against the teams that give you enough points to be the top 30 teams, you did right. I mean, that's something that matters this year.
Well, I'm watching right now. Martin Luther King coming out of this half already. The sidelines are jumping up and down. They got the white stripes.
Halftime.
Yeah, I get that, but they really haven't shown this energy the entire game on the sidelines. So I'm excited to see what they were talked about at halftime, because we saw it last week. Halftime was definitely the turnaround.
Ty Spencer can rally him, can he?
Yes, he can. Great coach.
Yeah, Williams Steele to boot it from his own 40 to start this thing. King will get it. It's a looper. It's a short, shallow kick, and it's going to roll out of bounds, and this is not going to work out the way that Moeller planned.
That's a quick way to Martin Luther King to start at the 40.
Yeah. So here comes this King offense, an offense that last week didn't score in the first half. This week they put up 7. They've played a couple pretty good defenses back-to-back weeks in Castech and Moeller. No shame in that, but we've sort of grown to expect a little more from this King offense. We'll see if they can't put it into high octane here in the second half.
Yeah, maybe it's us. The last 2 games, we haven't been able to see this explosive offense that we heard so much about going into the Castech game.
That's right. So here comes King from the 35. I think in the pros it's 40 or the college, but high school for some reason they don't fully reward the full 40 yards. This is a solid play off left tackle, a lot of yards, and a big gainer by number 21, Terrence Brown.
And way to finish the run, too. Lamont Cox had to make a business decision on that one. Do I get in front of this train or do I not?
19-yard pickup, and you just can't say enough, Stick, about that offensive line, especially that left side for King.
Yeah, Jonathan Slack and Terrence Mize, what more can you say about them? I mean, they have opened up big holes today.
Trouble here as Thomas Steins is going to make a TFL. On 1st and 10 from the 45, they go from plus territory to negative territory in one play, Stick.
Yeah, and just when we're talking nice about you, no, this is what happens. It was a play to the right that just got blown up in the backfield by number 4. You're looking at Thomas Steins, and a couple other players were able to get involved in that.
Yeah, Chase Brown piling on, 6'3", 230-pounder. So second down and 16. Moore looking right. Got a man, caught. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage and a little bit more. Call it a gain of about 13 yards. And a nice gain there on that play.
Yeah, but I am constantly impressed by the arm strength of Dante Moore. That was just like a snap of the wrist, and he was able to throw that across the entire field. And right on the numbers, too, to where his wide receiver can turn upfield and actually get some positive yardage to make this a manageable 3rd and 8.
Shotgun for Moore from the right hash. It's a 4-3 base defense for Moeller. They bring the blitz. Pass over the middle to Willis, and it's incomplete. They brought the heat, and it paid off. And it's 3rd and long. Make it 4th and long for King and punting time.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about at halftime. King has to find a way to protect Moore. I mean, he can make all the throws, but if he doesn't have time, it really doesn't matter how great of a quarterback he is. Because right there, he's fading back about 10, 15 yards, throwing off his back foot.
Now, Dante Moore is the punter as well, so if you're thinking something might be funny here, you're thinking right. It could. And it could easily be done because it's one of the nation's finest players in punt formation.
And this is about the area you would do it in.
And they don't. It's an end over end. Dante Moore's going to roll this thing inside the 5, and it'll come out to the 20. And that's where this Moeller offense, led by senior quarterback Noah Gesselbrock, the 6'6", 216-pounder, making his 8th start this year. This first year as a full-time starter. He's had a heck of a senior year. Had Division II interest, but his coach thinks he can go D1. It's just people haven't known about this kid.
Yeah, well, he's got the body type to do it. You know, when you're talking to like a program like Michigan State, you know, they like their prototypical 6'4", 6'5" quarterback.
Yeah.
And sometimes that works against some smaller recruits, but if you fit the body type, you're getting the looks.
Yes, sir. Motion by Bryant. Comeback routes aren't open, and the dump down to Caddis is, but it's incomplete. Popped out of there. Coming up was Croft to lay a lick on the Kentucky commit. And it's 2nd and 10.
And that was kind of a mistake by King's defense. They had 2 defenders guarding the tight end, and then look, they both leave them and go after the quarterback. One's supposed to stay with them, so that doesn't happen, but luckily the pass was dropped.
2nd and 10. First drive of the second half for Moeller after they get a stop at midfield. Moeller offense that has churned up 231 yards tonight on 31 plays.
I'm always keeping my eye on Tennell Bryant, number 10.
Big plays tonight. Out route here. Bryant's pass behind him, and he pays for it. Coming up to Cole Cock. The wide receiver was Corey Webb, who's been active tonight for the Crusaders. And there's a late flag that comes in.
Oh, they did not call a are they calling taunting?
That would be the only call, and it was.
It was the taunting. That was it. I mean, you can make those hits. That was a great hit. That's something you put on your highlight reel and you love forever, but then you can't back it up by running your mouth. That's a technical mistake that's going to cost them, because that's a momentum shifter right there when you light another player up like that, but now it's all for nothing.
It's Jameel Croft, a kid who got a high major offer this week, and a kid who's a high-rising secondary performer.
And he didn't even make the hit.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, he's telling him about the other guy's hit.
That's right. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Marshall gets the counter, stays on his feet, spins, flag down, makeup call coming.
Yep, you got some holding coming back. See if you can see the hold there. It was on number 55, and that's the thing. When you're trying to block Mize, you got to get some hands on him, and sometimes you're going to get some hands, you're going to get some jersey, and you're going to get a little bit more.
There's an injury for Moeller. They're without their tailback, Alec Weeder, who has left the game with an injury. They've checked in Gabe Goins, a kid who had 2 carries coming into this ball game. He now has 3.
Yeah, well, we saw Weeder limp off on the same play that the quarterback also got hit, and we haven't seen him since. I was noticing that because you mentioned that he was the holder, and he was not out there holding either.
We'll see if Joey Radio can't get on that one. 2 wide receivers to the left. Gesselbrock throws to Caddis, and it's off his fingertips, and he misses this one. Wouldn't have been the easiest of catches, but Caddis has had a tough time tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's not an easy catch, but that's a catch you have to make. It's in stride. It's right on your hands. And, you know, if I'm the quarterback, I'm a little upset at my tight end that he couldn't pull that through, because that's going to get us back into an easier down and distance. Now you're still talking 2nd and 20.
Sets him back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Against a King defense that, both teams have give and take. There's been some penalties tonight now. Starting to see a little hint of last week.
Reverse, fumble.
Ball loose on the deck, and the offensive line saves the day, perhaps the big boy. That's 79. That's big Donnie Lewis, the right tackle. And he jumped on this missed exchange in the reverse attempt.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just a reverse. It looked like he may have been throwing the ball, too, on that play. But, yeah, it was a bad pitch.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get his hands on it. And luckily they fell on that ball. Otherwise, you're giving King the ball on the 17.
Yep. I guess it would have been a double reverse, technically. My bad.
Yeah, but I still think they were going to throw
Maybe
after
throw
that.
after that, were they?
Yep.
Okay. Marshall back in there. He gets the screen left side, has a chance for the first down and more, and he got it up to the 30, 40-yard line. Did he get the first down? He needed the 44, pardon me. He did. Wow, what a play by number 24, Jordan Marshall.
Yeah, beautiful screen pass. You see big number 55 trying to get it. I thought he was down just in front of the line, but they're giving him the first down, and there you go.
What a block by Curran, who came over and got that cleanup block to get the extra few yards. John Curran, the left guard, I thought made a nice play there.
That is a huge play.
Yep. So move the chains just enough by the tip of the football. 1st and 10 from their own 45 for Mo. Throw right side, again caught. This is going to make a man miss. Another man miss. He's on his feet all the way down to the 35-yard line. How about that? A gain of 20 with 9 minutes left in the third.
Yeah, Jameel Croft had an opportunity to tackle him in open space and just could not get his hands on it. Look at these moves right here. 1, 2, 3, and yeah, Gabriel Goings, what a great moves in space. You want to get him the ball more.
Archbishop Moeller has an extensive depth chart, and they're very well prepared and studied. He didn't even make that, and that kid, after a few misses that way, you better get him on that depth chart next week, young man. Goins might be playing for you soon.
Well, they did show up with 3 buses, and it took about 7 minutes to unload. So I believe they have 147 kids on their roster.
94 officially.
Good Lord.
That is varsity and JV, to be fair. But, yeah, they do travel together. 2nd and 9. Goins again tries the middle. Nothing doing. Guess who? Mr. Mays says,
And you kind of saw the quarterback, Gesselbrock, look at the sidelines like, oh, why are we doing that? Why are we running up the middle? Kenny Merriweather, great job on this play.
Yeah, it was Merriweather, you're right. Made that first hit. Tackle for loss. So 3rd and 9 now from the 34-yard line. Familiar territory for Moeller. Finishing drives, a trouble spot. Big chance for the King defense here. Gesselbrock going for it all. Has a man. Tennell caught. Touchdown. Moeller. 34-yard touchdown. Gesselbrock into the end zone to Bryant for another score.
That's the guy you got to keep an eye on. I mean, he's been tearing up Martin Luther King all day long, and there was pressure on the quarterback here. Mize was able to get in, and what a great play. In between defenders, he was able to cut in, take the ball into the end zone. Beautiful touchdown to go up on top 14 or 13-7.
You're right. It was beautifully placed, underthrown a bit, but happened to be right between the safety. Here comes the hold from Thomas Steins, who's checked in. The short snapper is Joe Giannetti, and the extra point by William Steele is good. And so, with 7:33 to go in the third quarter, the touchdown has Moeller on top. 34-yard strike, 14-7 for the road team Mo. We're back to Detroit in a moment.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Here's that touchdown again. Moeller takes the lead, 34-yard strike, Stick.
Oh, absolutely beautiful pass. Like we were talking, in front of the safety, but behind the cornerback. Tennell Bryant has just had a huge, huge game. I mean, he's got to be over 100 yards by now.
Well, I'm glad you asked. We do have his receiving yards. Kickoff is received at the 3-yard line, and King's going to start at the 17-yard line.
That looked like a horse collar tackle.
So, King trailing, they're comfortable when they do trail. They were down 2 touchdowns last week. They're down a touchdown here at home on homecoming. It'll be interesting to see how they attack this offensive trip here in the third quarter.
It's got to start with the big guys up front. If they cannot protect Dante Moore, they're not going to have much of a chance of getting back in this game. That's the one thing they were able to do last week against Cass Tech is give some time. But Dante Moore has been under a lot of pressure ever since like midway through the second quarter.
Yes, he has. Moore back to pass, left side. Willis caught. Mercier with a block and a nice first down. On first down, carry across the 30, and it's a healthy gain. Move the chains. Let's take a look at that big critical play in a moment. The third down play after this hurry-up offense for King. Is his tempo. Throw, right side, Anderson, and a nice chunk play on first down again. Let's go back to that third down play. 3rd and 23, Stick. This is really what made the drive.
Yeah, beautiful screen pass, a great call, and he was able to cut back across the field.
That was the one by Goins.
Yeah.
And that was the play after the one, but we'll get to that. Handoff Anderson, right side, chunk play here across midfield to the 50. Inside the 35 to the 32.
You know, one thing I love about the Martin Luther King running backs, they never go out of bounds. They want to deliver the last hit of the run. So a great, great run right there by Sterling Anderson Jr. But he could have gone out of bounds, never taken a hit. But he's like, you know what? I'm down this far. I want to deliver some punishment while I'm here.
Big chunk play. Here comes King. 32-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10. Moore under pressure. Center screen, Weichel. Spins out of one, spins into trouble, and he spins into the arms of the big boy in the middle who's had a nice game tonight. That's Brandon Martin, defensive lineman.
Yeah, I like the play call there. Just they have not been able to execute that middle screen at all. That's twice today that they haven't been able to do it properly. But it's there if they can just complete it and get that one guy blocked.
It's a tough play to time, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, especially when they've been giving up so much pressure already.
Yeah. 6 minutes left in the third. Moore going to take it himself up the middle. And on 2nd down, he'll create a 3rd and mid now from the 26-yard line.
Yeah, landed Jake and Duffy was able to kind of control the tempo on that play. They're forcing them, even when it's not a pass, Moore is under pressure to make a quick decision whether he's going to hand the ball off or keep it.
3rd and 5 for King from midfield. Showing blitz. The blitz comes from Moeller. Pass right side, caught. First down and more. Inside the 5 is Joe Williams. A converted 3rd and 5, and King's tempo starting to pay off right now.
And once again, he throws it before he's actually out of his break, and that's what you love to see even in high school. Like, that's more college professional type stuff.
Sure is. 1st and goal from the 2. Dante pass is incomplete. The slant was too tall. A dangerous pass to the middle of the defense.
Yeah, Rashawn Mercier even had a chance at that, though, because it deflects off number 2, Chauncey Willis. And watch, right there, but almost, so close.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of those plays. Oh, boy. So
they're bringing in the big fella. They were screaming for Mize to come out there. He was watching tape with the rest of his defense, but here he comes.
Here it is, Terrence Mays, the converted defensive tackle. So it is
bring in the fridge.
2nd down and goal from the 3-yard line. 5:11 to go. Moore turns, gives, left side, end zone, touchdown King! Into the end zone, Terrence Brown! And the Crusaders are an extra point away from tying this thing up here in Motown.
Yeah, well, all you have to do is follow big number 55, and you're getting into the end zone. Watch this pancake block right here on the goal line. This will be a great shot of it. Look at drive,
wow.
and just flattens his man, and he just ran right over him. What a great play call. Get that guy off defense. Let's put him in the backfield full time.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Great blocking up front. Extra point attempt is up, and we are tied in Detroit. 5:03 to go. The 3-yard touchdown run for King has us tied up here in Motown. This is the Friday Night Clash Week 9 coverage here on the Prep. We're back to Motown in a moment. This is the Friday Night Clash.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
Eight plays, 82 yards, a 3-yard touchdown run for Brown. Took just 2 minutes, 27 seconds. Tempo was a theme on that drive. King wanted to heat it up, and their offensive coordinator, give him a lot of credit. His name's Terrell Patrick for the Crusaders of Detroit. King.
I'm still going to tip my cap for getting number big 55 in the backfield.
Mr. Mays.
Mr. Mays, I mean.
There's no surprise. He was our hero of the week. He had 9 tackles. He already has a TFL this week. He's the heart and soul of this King team.
Just imagine trying to get in front of him, though, and shedding that block. My goodness.
He comes with bad intentions, and that is the highest compliment for a football player. Kickoff taken by Kirk Thompson, their Swiss Army knife, and he is chopped down, and that blade is put down at the 20-yard line. Here comes Big Mo to start their drive, and it's a big one stick here in the third quarter with 4:55 left.
Yeah, this is the kind of boxing match that we thought we would see, the back and forth of these guys going at it, and I'm happy that we're here to do that.
Some medical attention being given over there to Kurt Thompson, who's also the punter, doubles as the wide receiver.
Yeah, and I thought I saw Weichel limping off the field again.
Man, well,
a couple times for him.
It's something to keep an eye on. Tennell Bryant, who had the touchdown, has 4 catches for 113 yards in the air. Big Mo has done it. 8 of 18. So here we go from the 21.
It's almost to the point where you're doubling him.
Noah Gesselbrock. Back in there is Jordan Marshall. Marshall cuts back. He has a big hole. He's up to the 40, across midfield, into King territory. And a 30-yard run on first down.
What a great cutback. He was reading the line of scrimmage. He was pretty much bottled up if he continued outside, but boom, watch right. Plants his foot, cuts back against the grain, and was able to beat the line, get to the second level, and then just explode. Great run, great vision.
Division I prospect, this Jordan Marshall. Kid's just a sophomore. Good size, too. 6'1", 190. Cutting ability, you saw there. He's got it all. And he's part of a dual backfield, but right now he's the lone soldier. Back to pass. Gesselbrock being chased, throws it away. Dangerous pass. And a hot take coming from the sideline, and that's Imani Dowdell, the senior defensive end.
Yeah, and even though this was a dangerous pass, this was an almost completed pass. Look at number 84 right there.
Yeah, Caddis.
Yeah, he's going to get his hand on it. I mean, it was too high for him, and he's 6'4", I believe.
Caddis has had a time tonight where he's been dealt some tough balls to catch.
Yeah.
He needs one right in the belly. He deserves one right between the numbers, doesn't he?
He does.
Second down and 10 on the 48-yard line. Moeller with the rock, and they're going to try the middle. Jordan Marshall, and it's going to be 3rd and mid.
Yeah, it's crazy that he's only a sophomore, but this is what we talk about pretty much every week when we're doing high school football. If someone gets injured, the next man up always has a great opportunity to show what he can do. Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't matter if he's just a sophomore. He's got the skills.
Sure does. This team's leading rusher, 6 yards per carry, 11 touchdowns this year. Second best on the team, 7 rushing and 4 receiving. Guy that got a lot of time as a freshman. Throw over the middle, Caddis caught. We asked for one in the belly, we got it. And Caddis can get some yak yards too. First down.
Yeah, he's a big fella to wrangle to the ground. Who was that? Number 17 out there was just kind of holding on for the ride. It was amazing. Yeah, 6'4", 240, going to Kentucky.
Second on the team in receptions with 37. Left side breaks loose. Marshall into the open field. Touchdown! 31-yard touchdown for Mr. Marshall.
Some dance moves to boot.
You're in Motown.
Well, this is where they had success early in the game, getting outside. And once he reaches that corner, he's able to cut it back in right there, cut across the grain, and get into the end zone. Great vision and great blocking up front by Thomas Beal, the junior, 6'4", 260.
He sealed that edge. You're right. Beal just hemmed it in. So 20-14 with 3:26 to go. The snap is low, the hold is solid, and the kick is good. Extra point is good from the kicker William Steele, and it's 21-14. Moeller regains the lead stick.
Yeah, and like we were just saying, this is the type of back-and-forth punching match that you thought you were going to see in the first half. I think it's just taking these guys a little bit of a while to feel each other out and get to know each other. But now both offenses are clicking. We're seeing the best of both offenses, and now it's going to be which defense steps up.
That's right. The drive, a minute 40, 5 plays, 79 yards, 31-yard touchdown run from Jordan Marshall, his 12th touchdown of the year.
Yeah, keep pumping him the ball. Ever since he's come in, he's been able to get the yards after contact. And look at those dance moves.
He came to Motown to boogie. He says, I'm in Detroit. I'm going to dance.
I'm going to get in the end zone. Floor.
No, you obviously haven't seen me on the dance floor. You're too kind.
You got the moves, man.
Yeah, not like Jagger, though. 21-14 is the score.
Got to give it up to the Martin Luther King band. They've been going hard all game long. The great performance at halftime, too.
Can't say enough about this King program and what they've done under Ty Spencer in his 6th year. He's got this team nationally ranked. Their only blemish was in week 1. He's got them on a 7-game win streak and the clear leaders in Division III in the state of Michigan. Kickoff return from the 3. And a flag down. Despite the solid return across the 35, Terrence Brown's return is coming back. Excuse me, that's not Terrence Brown. That's Raquan Evans. Holding, I believe, the call.
Yeah, so now it's King's turn. You know, they had a great drive last time. They were really mixing it up really nice. So we'll see if they can give some more time to throw the ball, because that's really been the only thing that's been holding them back from the Moeller side, just coming to get them, blitzing all the time.
Yeah, it's some big plays in the passing game tonight for this Moeller team. And look, we knew that King's secondary would be challenged. And
yep.
This is great for King to have. We recall the fact that they've had 2 games they haven't even played. The only games they've really played, I mean, they had some early ones, but they also had some forfeit games. They needed to polish up on some things. Ty Spencer scheduled this game for a reason. He's going to get everything out of it.
Yeah, that's you don't want to call it a tune-up game because you want to win this game.
Sure.
And, you know, you're not looking just to learn here, but it's nice to challenge yourself against things you haven't seen.
Yeah, 2 very, very well-coached teams. Moore, hands off, left side. Broken tackle, still on his feet. Healthy gain again. Terrence Brown has been a horse in that backfield for the Crusaders from Detroit.
Yeah, it's taken more than one man to bring both of these running backs from both schools to the ground, and arm tackling is not getting it done. You're seeing the defenders just fall off of him as he goes up the field. Ends up taking 3 guys to get him to the ground after he already gets the first down.
And after a rough rushing week last week, 11 rushes, 35 yards, King tonight has really got it done on the ground. They are now over 100 yards, and both their backs are at 50-plus yards, almost identical stat lines. That's nice when you have balance and depth. Dante looking left side, hitch route, caught. Across the 35 to the 37, tackle made by Alex French, the outside linebacker, but not before we see the catch stick by Lamont Parks, his first tonight.
Yeah, but that's something that's been there for them all game with how deep the Moeller cornerbacks are playing. These little corner hook routes are there all game long.
Yeah. Handoff not for much. Fine defensive play coming up from the secondary. It's Colin Berry, the defensive back and the senior for Moeller. Second and long.
King has really picked up their tempo here in the second half. Like, we almost don't get time to look at the replay how fast these guys are going.
King trails by a touchdown. The #1 team in the state of Michigan is on the ropes at home. A lot of time left, a lot of chicken left on the bone. This thing's far from over. Handoff, backfield fake. It's a keeper in an RPO, and Dante Moore is going nowhere.
And they really haven't had a lot of success with that play at all tonight. The way Moeller is closing in on it, he almost doesn't really have time to even read the defensive end. And Brandon Martin getting in there and making the tackle.
They have had a push here in this second half. And their head coach, Mark Elder, says, look, our D-line's the strength of our defense. And Jackson Garrett, a guy that's got an offer from Marshall and others, has been a big part of that tonight, too. Throw right side, incomplete, and that is going to force 4th down and King to kick it away, Stick.
And once again, it's the pressure. Moore does not have time to sit, read his routes, even, go to his secondary wide receiver. Look, by the time he goes to set at first, he's being chased down by Brandon Martin again, and he just doesn't have time to make the proper reads.
Brandon Martin has been a force tonight. So Dante Moore in punt formation.
And you got the dangerous number 10 back. I'm keeping my eye on Bryant. He's been fun to watch tonight. Over 100 yards receiving already. So make sure you contain him on this punt return.
Tennell Bryant is going to back up now to his 15, bluff, and watch this thing roll in the end zone. A fine kick. It almost worked out just perfectly. Wise choice by the punt return man to get out of the way.
Yeah, it was smart. It was a smart play by him. You know, and you notice that in the NFL more and more. It used to be you plant your feet on the 10-yard line. Anything over your head, you let go because it's most likely going to go in the end zone. You don't see that anymore in the NFL. People are receiving the ball at the 3, at the 5, at the 7. I miss the old days, Chad.
I'm with you. I miss the old rules, too.
Right, the unwritten rules.
The unwritten rules.
Yep.
You just line up and get a guy at the point of impact. All right, here we go. King on defense. They trail by a touchdown. Moeller wants more, and they want to continue their road kills. 3 straight overtime games. Road Warriors. They've only played twice at home this year. There's a clothesline on the far sideline. It's a clean play, but from here it looked like a WWE match.
I mean, that's one way to get him to the ground. You know, if you can't contain the edge, you could just kind of I don't want to say horse collar, but just wrangle him to the ground. What a great play by Dowdell. Big, strong arm of the law.
That's right. The bailiff. Where's the bailiff tonight?
I was going to say, speaking of the law, we haven't called bailiff's name at all, and I don't even see number 11. There he is. He's out there right in the middle.
Yeah. So 3 wide receivers to the right, motion right to left. Handoff left side, and it's a first down. They needed 8. They get 8.5. Move the chains. There is a man down for Moeller across the way.
It's 26. It's the running back.
And that is the running back, Goins. Gabriel Goins, who is playing tonight, the reserve senior, in lieu of Alec Weeder out with an injury. Here's the replay. Kind of came down on his...
maybe a cramp?
Yeah,
they're just stretching him.
While we have a moment, let's go down to the sidelines to the third member of our crew, Joey Radio. Audio. So that's the end of the third quarter. We'll get Joey on the other side as we start the fourth quarter from Detroit King and Lorenzo Wright Stadium. We've got a dandy. The boys from Ohio have a touchdown lead. Come on back for the fourth quarter. It's Moeller and King from the Motor City on the prep right after this.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Begin, and I'm here with young buck freshman Dorian. You play here at King?
Yes, I do.
What position you play?
I play running back and corner.
You got hands?
Yeah, man.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right, let me see. Here we go. Blue 42 said, hike. Oh, he's going deep. He's going deep. Beautiful ball. Yeah!
40.
Let's go, baby.
45-yard strike from Joey Nemu. This pass is caught as well. And the strike down the field is complete. Hauled in by number 18. And that is the wide receiver, Kurt Thompson. 19, rather, Jared Merck.
Oh, he had his options. 18 was down and wide open on that play, too. But look at rolling to his right. Great throw. What an incredible throw. And now you know why he's getting looked at by D1 schools.
First catch of the night for Merck. He's been quiet. He did come in with some numbers behind him as he on the season the third leading receiver with 32 catches. So 11.5 left. Ball on the 43. Moeller looking for more. They're up a touchdown. Handoff up the middle. Nothing doing here. King's defense says a shutdown up the gut.
And who else? Big number 55 making sure that doesn't happen.
So, yeah, sorry, Stick.
No, that's fine. I'm so impressed every time we see 55 plays. Mize, or Mays. I keep calling him Mize because we're in Detroit and I'm thinking Casey Mize. But yeah, no, Mays. I should be thinking Mays in blue because that kid's getting a ton of D1 offers.
He sure is. So, second down and 10 for Moeller. It's been an impressive offensive showing for Moeller.
Definitely an aerial attack.
Team that came in averaging 34 points a game. Gesselbrock pitches right side. Jordan Marshall again, and he'll stretch out for a healthy gain. It's on 2nd and 10. He gets 8. And Moeller's in the hurry-up tempo mode here.
I really like the offense that Moeller runs. Even on this is like the fake inside handoff that they've been running, but then you see him step out, and it's a pitch out to the outside. Even those little wrinkles just cause your defense to think.
Marshall, ball loose is out, and King has it. A turnover forced. And the ball is picked up by Amani Dowdell, who's been all over the field tonight. The second takeaway for King on the evening.
Looks just like a bad handoff. They just could not get on the same page. And Dowdell in the right place at the right time picks up the ball. If he could have pitched it to one of his teammates, they were gone. But still, that is the type of momentum play that King absolutely needed in that situation. I mean, Moeller has come out. They've taken control of the second half. They've been moving the ball, long passes. They've been getting the runs going. They needed something like that. And for that to happen on Moeller's own account, too, just by dropping it,
yeah,
that's a big play for King. Now they got to cash in.
Sure is. King with a football at their own 43, down a touchdown. 10 minutes left. Dante, play action, batted at the line.
Looks like he was blocking in volleyball. Nice play by Alex French on that, just blocking it down. But let's get another look at this fumble. I mean, it was just pretty much the exchange between the quarterback and the running back. I don't think he ever got it to him. He was too close, and they almost bumped into each other.
It looked like he also had his eyes, Noah Gesselbrock, maybe on the defender ahead. Anyhow, 2nd and 10 for King. Moore with trips to the right, and we get flags and a pre-snap penalty.
False start. So that'll move them back, and this is what we saw to King last week, is that they kept putting themselves in long situations. That is 9 penalties for them.
Wow.
Last week they had 10. The Cass Tech had 15, so they're right on pace for that 10.
Mm-hmm. 2 penalties for Moeller. Throw right side, caught, first down and more. Big play again by who else? Number 2, that's Chauncey Willis Jr. Who else bails you out in a big-time spot but good old Deuce?
Well, and once again, the quarterback puts it in position to where his momentum's taking him forward and getting him 5 yards down the field before he can even look up. And by that time, the defense doesn't have time to react. That is a great momentum pass by Moore. Those little things are such huge differences in football games.
Gain of 39 yards, I believe, on the play. Carry right side. Not much doing there, but we've seen some playmakers this year, but when you talk about receivers, he reminds me a bit of the guy from Forts and Antonio Gates Jr. and big-time playmakers that just have a different level of athleticism and know how to turn it up.
Yeah, Chancey, we've seen him a couple times this season, and you know he reminds me of kind of like an Antonio Brown in his prime when he was playing with like the Killer Bees when he was
Antonio Brown with size, which is scary, isn't it? 2nd down and 8. Screen, left side, caught, open field. Missed tackle and out of bounds. Healthy gain for Terrence Brown, who scoots out of bounds. It'll be a 3rd and manageable. Chased out by Thomas Steins, who's headed to West Point on a lacrosse scholarship.
That was an impressive play by the Moeller defense to chase him out of bounds, because I thought that was going to be a lot bigger play than it was, especially when he was able to get across and get outside.
Yeah, an open field. He's dangerous. We're seeing more out of him tonight. 3rd and 5. Dante left side hitch route, caught, first down King. Needed 5, they get about 7, Stick, and that's another time play that's converted well. Credit the catch to Joseph Williams, the senior.
Yeah, that hook route has been there and on time all game long. Whenever they need 5, it's there. It's easy. It's almost a free 5 yards for them at this point with the timing that those two have developed.
Both quarterbacks just over the 200-yard mark passing tonight. 8:24 left. Dante, left corner, end zone, caught, touchdown King! Into the end zone, Joe Williams, the senior, 19-yard strike from Dante Moore. Flag down in the end zone. We'll wait for the call.
Yeah, it looks like defensive pass interference, but you're going to decline that and take the touchdown. Great placement of that ball up over the cornerback's head and only to where his wide receiver could get it. Great response. Huge turnover, and to convert it to tie this ball game potentially on this extra point, monster momentum.
Brown to snap it, Whitehall to hold it, and that is blocked. And Moeller is going to go back the other way. It doesn't matter. So it is blocked, and it is a 1-point Moeller lead on the blocked extra point, and we'll see who blocked it. I believe it was big number 97, your impact player.
Well, not only was it blocked, that high snap, I mean, you see Jackson Garrett right there with the ball, but it was a high snap. Well, let's take a look at the touchdown. This is a great pass up and over the defender. Nice, beautiful ball. Great catch by number 13, Joseph Williams. But yeah, then you look at that extra point. High snap, that delays the length that it takes to get that. And with an extra point, it's got to be bang, bang. You can't have that snap, hold for half
snap,
second.
hold, kick.
Yeah, it's got to be bang,
George
bang.
Port used to tell us, it's snap, hold, kick.
Yeah, well, we used to have a kid that blocked, I think it was like 4 or 5 for us our senior year, Brian Gray. And he was able to time them great. But see, high snap.
Number 9 got the block.
I believe 22 did.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, let's see that one more time if we can. I believe it was 22, Jacob Petticord.
All right, well, the block and the 1-point advantage and special teams a big part of this game that we haven't talked a lot about, but right now it's looming large. We'll get another look here, Stick, at the block, and who got it.
I think 22 was able to get in there.
I think it's 9. 22 got in, but I think 9 blocked it.
We can agree to disagree, Chad.
We're going to give credit to both.
Either way, it was blocked.
Brandon Martin and Jacob Petticord. Return is up across the 25 to the 28-yard line. With 8 minutes left, there's a flag down, and all of a sudden that extra point is huge. It's huge because now King's got to get a stop and now a score.
Yeah, I mean, there's 8 minutes left in the ball game, but the only thing that's been able to stop Moeller is themselves. 4th downs and turnovers have killed them today.
2 turnovers in the game for Moeller, no turnovers in the game for King. And as Stick talked about, the 3 4th down opportunities for Moeller, all in the red zone. In fact, 2 of the 3 inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, at the 7.
Yep. So Moeller's going to start with poor field position after the penalty. Hold on the return has him all the way back to the 11-yard line.
Now, if you're King, do you start bringing pressure? They really haven't blitzed all game. They've been relying on their athleticism. I'd start bringing some heat.
Why not? Handoff. Jordan Marshall right side. He's going to string it out, and he's going to get stopped for a gain of about 1 or 2. Good pursuit by King to get that edge covered up, Stick.
Yeah, King's done a better job, a much better job of pushing the outside edge further and further towards the sideline. Early in the game, they were getting beat on those plays a lot, and I don't know if that's the adjustment that the coach was talking about they made, but they've done a much better job.
Indeed. 7.5 left from Detroit. Michigan versus Ohio. Detroit versus Cincinnati. It's great football, and these two states are coming together to make it happen on this final Friday night in the regular season. And we're glad to bring it to you here on the Prep. Throw over the middle. Caddis caught short of the first down. He needed 8. He got 7.
Well, it looks like they're going to give it to him. Are they? No, I think you're right. They're going to mark him just short.
My old man eyes have failed me before. Great catch this time by Caddis. How about the coverage on the play for King?
Yeah, Dayon Johnson was all over him. I mean, almost to the point of a penalty.
Really was. Oh, ball loose. King says they have it. It was a 3rd and 1. No signal yet. Crusader football. King style.
Now, Moeller tried to get a little tricky. They snuck the quarterback up there, quick snap. I think it was just a little bit of miscommunication. The quarterback wasn't ready for it, and the ball just went out, and then who knows what happened in that scrum. But number 55 come out with the scrum, and Mr. Mays is having himself a game on both sides of the ball.
Amazing.
That should be the title in the newspaper. Yeah, the center exchange from Colin
Rabinowski.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but they were trying to get tricky. And sometimes when you get tricky.
Quick snap,
yep,
baby.
Yep.
So it's King ball, and they take over on the turnover. That is the 3rd turnover of the night for Moeller.
See, that's where I like going on a silent count where the quarterback just kind of gooses the center, and that's when you know to hike the ball.
Yep. King does have a kicker that they feel they can trust. I know they missed a PAT, but it is an option. But they want the 6 points, no doubt.
False start.
And they are going to have to do it after their 10th penalty was committed.
Well, at least they're consistent, Chad. 10 penalties last week, 10 penalties this week.
Yeah. Well, King will back it up to the 28. Dante Moore in the shotgun along with his partner in crime in the backfield, Terrence Brown. Trips to the right, flare right. Brown has it caught. Has the right sideline and a solid gain. Still on his feet inside the 10 down to the 8. Terrence tearing up the right sideline. And King's in business knocking on the door.
That is grown man football right there. I thought he stepped out like about 7 yards into the route, but he was able to stay in bounds and pick up the first down and get over like 17 yards. But watch this. He could go out right there, but nope, breaks that tackle, stays in bounds, delivers another hit, stays in bounds.
How did he stay in bounds?
I don't know, but this is what I was talking about earlier. This is what I love about the King running backs. They want to deliver the hit.
Love that. More in the shotgun from the 8. Handoff again to a heavy breathing running back. Guy who deserved a break, Terrence Brown, but it's snuffed out and strung down by Moeller.
Yeah, that's not going to work to get a touchdown, but number 9 has been having a big game. Brandon Martin, what an absolute stud he's played all game long today.
He might fight you in the postgame if he ended up blocking that. We're going to get to the bottom of that. 5.5 left. Moore looking right side, end zone, caught, touchdown, Willis.
Wow.
Chauncey Willis, the hero last week, and he does it again here with an 8-yard touchdown catch and a little bit of acrobatics to add to it. Had to go down low to get that dart. What a snatch here. King will go for 2 now in a hurry-up mode, and we'll get to that replay in a moment.
Yeah, they didn't call that a touchdown.
Oh, I apologize.
His feet were in the end zone, but I don't think the ball ever was.
So it's 3rd and goal from the 1, and stuffed. I apologize, folks. I thought he was in the end zone.
Yeah, I thought so too. It looked like his feet were in the end zone, but he came out. He was able to drag his toes, but the ball was not in the end zone. Here, we're going to get a good look at it here.
Throw left side, feet in, and he's certainly out.
Yeah.
No debate there.
From our angle, it looked like he touched the yellow, right.
We've got a sideline full of fans, and my bad on that. I apologize to everybody.
That's all right. We all get excited.
Darn right. I get a little more excited than most. 4th and 1 from the 1-yard line.
How are they running Mays off the field? You put 55 out there.
Rolling right, Moore got a man, caught, touchdown King! Into the end zone, touchdown!
That was a great play. You play action to the left and you roll out to the right. You find number 25 for the touchdown. What a big play to take the lead in this game. They were worried about the extra point, so they got to go for 2 here, right, Chad?
Which one?
Unidentified number 25.
The unidentified 25.
King going for 2. They're up 26-21. Pass over the middle and incomplete. So 26-21. The unidentified player, number 25, we'll get to him in a moment, but what a play on 4th down for King to convert. 4th down's really been the difference in this game.
It really has been, now that you think about it, especially inside the red zone. But what a great play call. To the play action to the left, then he was able to roll out. Sterling is his name, number 25. Everybody's trying to tell us who it is. Absolute chaos here trying to figure out who number 25 is.
Mylan Wynn.
There you go. Congratulations, Mylan Wynn. Come on down. You just got the lead touchdown.
Wow, what a big play. Man deserved
Huge
his name
play.
called 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
26-21. 2-point conversion, no good. We'll get to the drive summary right now. It was a King drive that was just 6 plays, 56 yards. And a minute 43.
Yeah, another turnover that they were able to capitalize on. 2 drives in this half. Actually, the last 2 drives have come off of fumbles from Moeller.
Yep. So Wynn with the touchdown. This is Tennell up the right side. On the run, loose, could go. 40, 30, 20, 10. 88-yard touchdown return. And just like that, we are tied in Motown. My goodness, Moeller with a 1-point lead on the 88-yard touchdown by the sprint champion, number 10, Tennell Bryant.
Yeah, that puts him over 200 all-purpose yards for the game. And you see 6 with a chance to slow him down. Oh, is this coming back?
I believe it is.
Yeah, by the response of the King crowd, this is coming back on a holding penalty.
All kinds of chaos.
Yeah, this is interesting because they put the score on the scoreboard.
Now, just not a clear call here.
Holding.
There is illegal use of hands. It's coming back.
Wow.
So there you have it.
Wow.
Nobody saw that, but what a break there. So an 88-yard kick return for a touchdown comes back and gets wiped off the board.
And that was a late flag. I didn't even see it thrown during the play.
Yeah, that would have given him the lead. I apologize. It was a 2-point attempt. It was missed. 26-21, King on top. They've trailed twice here in the second half by a touchdown and overcome a deficit. But Big Mo's got something to say with 3:50 left in the Motor City. Pass left side, incomplete. Noah Gesselbrock was looking for his receiver, but Mr. Mays had other ideas.
I was going to say, but guess who was in the backfield putting pressure on? Mr. Mays, and you see him jumping up and down after the play. He's excited. He's ready to go. And just because he's a big fella, like I said, he chases down those quarterbacks, Chad.
Sure is.
I love watching him play.
Heart and soul of this defense.
Yes, the definite heart and soul.
And really,
as
the
he
team
goes, the defense goes, Chad.
That's right. 3:43 left, a 2nd and 10. And hey, look, you're in a spot with Noah Gesselbrock, a guy who led you last week to victory in overtime. This moment's not too big for him. He's settled in, but we do get a false start penalty as this crowd here on homecoming for King starting to come alive and being a factor here in the second half.
Yeah, not only that, we were talking, you were just saying how the quarterback, he's used to this pressure and stuff like that, and so is this team by going into 3 overtime games in a row, but they're starting to lose their composure a little bit, not only rushing to the line and that rough snap, the handoff to the running back, which was also a fumble, and now you're getting a false start here.
Yeah, this one's coming back.
2 huge penalties on this drive. I mean, one to take away a kickoff return. That is a knife in the back almost, man.
Yes, sir. Second down and 10 and 15 with 3:42 to go. Moeller down by 6. Down by 5, rather. A touchdown gives them the lead. Noah Gesselbrock trying to lead his team from behind. Throw right side is caught by number 19. And that is Jared Merck, his second catch of the night. That's a healthy gain on first down.
Now, the one difference on that play compared to what King is doing is Gesselbrock waited till he actually turned around and he was waiting on the ball. The one good thing that Moore has done with King is that those curl routes, he's throwing it before the receiver even breaks out of his route. So those are just the little nuances with the difference between a quarterback that's only been with his guys 1 year and a guy who's been with his buddies for a long time.
That's a great point.
Looks like we have a discussion.
Yep. By the way, this is a game we told you about, all the overtime games that have been played. The overtime games, and Moeller 3 times they've gone to overtime to start this month of October. Against Elder, a loss. Their only loss in this 3-game stretch. Against St. Iggy, and then last week they did it against St. Edwards in a 28-21 overtime win. So could there be a 4th overtime? The score's not lining up like it, but it's certainly going to come down perhaps to the final score.
A field goal and a safety, you never know.
Sure.
Could happen.
Why not?
Man, 3 minutes left in the game. This has been a great game. This is one of those games you don't want to end.
No, we've had lead changes. We've had 3 of them, I believe, in this game. We've seen King come from behind, but hey, look, Moeller's for real.
Yes.
This program is well represented. They're 9 state titles. King with their 4 state titles. This is fun to have together. We don't get this opportunity often. Interstate battles. Pass right side is tipped away. Tipped away. What a play on 3rd down. An athletic defensive play by Dante Dooley, or Corey Webb, rather. My goodness. 4th and 6.
He had a chance to undercut that ball and intercept it. It was just off of his fingertips, but if you watch him, yeah, he undercut the receiver right there.
Outstanding play by Webb, who's made plays all night.
And, of course, they were going to Bryant. That's the only guy I'm worried about right now is Bryant. I am keeping triple, double, quadruple coverage on him.
4th and 5. This could be the ball game. Moeller's going for it from their own 30. Gesselbrock's pass incomplete, knocked down. Pass was intended for Jared Merck, but what a defensive play by King in that secondary, coming up and making another knockdown.
Yeah, that was a big play. Moeller looked like they wanted a pass interference call on that. You saw the jersey stretch a little bit, but this was a good way to reach around and not get too much of the defender, and the official standing right there. Great play. Jacoby Oglesby.
Yeah.
Biggest play of the game.
That's right.
It's because it was the last play of the game.
Yes, sir. 3:22 left. Ball's on the 30. Game not over yet. All 3 timeouts, I believe, for Moeller.
I don't get conservative if I'm King.
No.
I don't go conservative here.
.322 left. Handoff up the middle. Watch out. On the loose. Touchdown, King. Sterling Anderson turns the lights out in Detroit.
And it is a celebration at Martin Luther King right now. The stands are going crazy. Everybody's going wild. It's homecoming. You're about to beat the number 6 team in Ohio. But look at that hole. I mean, he had 10 feet to run through. Nobody touches him till he pretty much gets to the 2-yard line. And what an incredible run by Sterling Anderson Jr. Whew. Man, 30 yards.
What a sprint is right. It's been a ground attack for King tonight that's made a statement. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good, but there's a false start. And they're going to have to do this thing again. So an 11-point lead, false start, and we'll see if Ty Spencer doesn't say, heck, I've seen enough of the PAT attempts tonight. That's why I wanted to go for it last time. Oh, what a job by this King offense and total team effort to force turnovers and to take advantage of those turnovers tonight.
That's been the story of the second half. Those 2 big Moeller turnovers had turned into, 13 points because of the missed extra point. But, I mean, honestly, when you're only putting up 21, that 13 is huge.
Yep, sure is.
And you can't expect your defense to hold on forever.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is no good. So 32-21 with 3:12 to go. Moeller has all 3 timeouts, but they're down by 11.
Still a 2-score game.
It's still a 2-score game.
Yep, 8-3.
And they do have a kicker, and they have a pretty good one over at Moeller. So this one's not over yet. I know you wanted overtime 4 in a row. We talked about 3 overtimes. Let's take a look at what Detroit King has done in the pro ranks with their players. And both schools have some celebrities and guys that have played professional ball. But Avante Maddox, a guy who's in the bigs with the Eagles. Ambry Thomas, a former Wolverine. Nick Perry, a retired player now, played most of his career with the Packers. Kevin Vickerson and Anthony Adams as well, all either current or former pros and graduates of Martin Luther King High School.
Yeah, rich history here.
Sure is. Now, Moeller's got some folks to note as well. How about this? Jackson Hayes of the NBA, number 8 overall pick, the 2019 NBA draft. He's a 2018 Moeller grad. Miles McBride, also in the NBA. Last year was picked by the Knicks, a 2019 grad. We'll get to the impressive list in a moment as the kickoff is taken by Moeller. And their special teams has been impressive tonight. This is another solid return. This is Brett Kelly, a reserve running back. Listen to the sports celebs for Moeller. Stick, 41 drafted Major League Baseball alums through 2016. That's the most in the OHSAA.
Yeah, there's one name I'm seeing that I had no idea that's where he went.
Barry Larkin is a 1982 grad of Moeller. All he did is play for the Reds, had a Hall of Fame career. University of Michigan grad. He went to Michigan to play football for Bo Schembechler.
Yeah, Larkin was a great player.
And Larkin did the old bait and switch to Bo. and he went in his office and said, Bo, he got in camp and he said, I'm going to play baseball. And Bo was livid with him. And it's a legendary talk between those two. Larkin made the right decision. Throw right side, Eric Caddis with a catch.
Oh, he dropped it.
He did drop it, and it wasn't Eric. That's his daddy.
It happens.
He did not come out of retirement from the Bengals. Thank you. Again, Caddis has been put in some tough spots tonight, hasn't he?
Right.
I'll continue with this list so we can
There's
get to
the
it.
name I'm talking about.
Ken Griffey Jr.
One of the best baseball players, if not the sweetest swing you've ever seen.
Oh, are you kidding me? Former number 1 overall pick of the 1987 draft, and he's an 87 grad. How about that one-handed catch by Marshall? He's going to go down the sidelines, and they will never get him. He is on his way to the house, and Moeller says, we're not done yet. Touchdown, Big Mo. With 2:41 to go, they take it 63 yards to pay dirt for the score. Jordan Marshall.
That was a great run up the sideline. I think they missed a block in the back here, though, to spring them, but that's all right. If it's not called, it's not a penalty, and next thing you know, it's a touchdown. But I think you'll see it here right at the bottom of your screen, right there.
Ooh, maybe. Yeah, you're right. Marshall racing down the sidelines. Now, this is a big part here, Stick, and you touched on it earlier. They've got to go for 2 now.
Yes.
And this is important because it's a one-score game. it's a field goal game if you can get it down and convert this 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it makes it a little more uncomfortable for Martin Luther King, because right now it's still uncomfortable. Any turnover or anything like that in this last 2 minutes, 40 seconds, you're giving Moeller an opportunity. But a field goal, obviously, we know that as Lions fans. Anything that's close is not comfortable.
So here we go, a 2-point conversion attempt. Gesselbrock on the left hash from the 3-yard line.
Watch the flats.
Bryant in motion. Gesselbrock looking right. Nothing there. Throws. Caught. 2-point conversion is good. And Moeller is a field goal away from going to their 4th straight overtime in October. How about it?
October-time.
The 2-point conversion is good. How about this play? Jared Merck makes the catch on the out route. What else can you say about this Gesselbrock kid?
Not much. I mean, he's done it all. You've seen the deep ball. You've seen him run the ball. You've seen him be patient on plays like that. And I think I noticed on that last play on the 2-point conversion the difference in the defense that they elected to, because they keep sending running back to the flat. And normally they've been letting the linebacker, but now they're switching off and letting the DB take him, and then the linebacker's taking the inside wide receiver. That's something that they weren't doing in the first half. So they've been able to cover the flats like that. But on that play, he just had enough time to wait it out, and as soon as his wide receiver was open, boom, 2-point conversion, and now it's a 3-point game with 2:33 left.
Yes, sir. 2-play drive, 63 yards. It took just 35 seconds, and it's Jordan Marshall into the end zone for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion is good, and that's from Mr. Merck. And what an impressive showing by this Moeller offense, who is relentless. We talk about Moeller, we talk about their miles traveled, and they've had to go all over the place. If nothing gets you prepared for the playoffs, how about the over 1,500 miles traveled round trip for Moeller this year? They've been to Cleveland. You take a look at it, all the miles added up. 1,512. This is their longest with 258. Last week was their second longest stick, 231 miles. They wish it was yards, to go to Lakewood, Ohio to take on St. Eddie, the #1 team that they upset. There's a pooch kick that's taken, and running backwards is the very dangerous Chancey Willis Jr., and he's loose to the 45 before he's chased out of bounds. Everything's so easy for Chancey Willis Jr. He makes it look easy anyway.
I was going to say, that's the guy you want with the ball in your hands. Like, they tried to keep it away from Martin Luther King, but you put it in the most dangerous dude's hands.
Yeah. So what a return for Willis, who's made an impact in this game. Marshall in the end zone. He has 134 yards rushing tonight and 82 yards receiving to go with 2 touchdowns. He's had to pick up the slack with Alec out tonight, and he sure has done that. 32-29 with 2:24 left. King with the football, and they've got great field position, Stick.
Yeah, good field position, but field position doesn't matter right here. It doesn't really matter if you score or not. What you want to do is pick up 2 or 3 first downs and run this clock out. So really all you need is 30 yards of field position.
And a ton of time, 2:25, you think about it.
And they got all their timeouts.
Yeah, exactly. Both teams have all their timeouts. So watch Willis here at the bottom of the screen for King. Moore in the shotgun, a 2 running back set. And he's going to try that ground game, and why not? It's just a yard gain. Timeout, Mark Elder. That's his first taken in the second half.
And you expect that type of play coming out. You're not going to get fancy here, but I would like to get to the edge, or I would like to do a safe screen play or something like that has worked for them. Even those curl routes have worked for them pretty consistently all game. So you want to push the ball down the field, but you also don't want to put yourself in a position to where you can turn it over. And that's where having the number 3 ranked quarterback in all of the nation comes in handy.
These teams have nearly combined for 1,000 yards of total offense in this game. Moeller has crossed the 500 mark. They have 518. Meanwhile, King has 445 yards. And so you get the feeling that this thing's not done yet, putting points up. It took a while. This was a 7-7 game at halftime. What happened?
Both teams showed up. That's what happened. I think it was like a first date the first half. They were, hey, how you doing? Oh, this is what you do. This is what I do. Okay, second half. Boom, let's go.
I like that. That was good. 2:17 left. 2nd and 9. 2 timeouts left for Moeller. On the road.
Now, I haven't seen the play that I was talking about. It was a design quarterback draw to the outside, so it will be interesting to see if they pull that out of their bag at some point in this drive.
Moore dropped his mouthpiece, had to go down, pick it up.
5-second rule.
Throw left side, caught. Weichel makes a move and has nearly a first down. It's right on the marker. I think he has it, Stick.
Yeah, that's when you're the coach. You're just go forward, go forward, go forward. What are you doing dancing? Just get that first down.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're going to give him the first down. Good play call.
Yep, great play call. You said it. Throw the short, secure pass.
Yep.
Let your playmakers make plays in space. Dante Moore, by the way, a hot 21 of 30 in this game for 252.
That was a huge first down.
Yeah, it was. Not to be outdone is Noah Gesselbrock. Both quarterbacks we featured in the pregame as our impact players. Gesselbrock is heated up in the second half, too. He's now 15 of 29, and he's thrown for 287 yards. So,
yeah, but even 15 of 29 is only 50%, and he came in throwing 65%.
That's
so
right.
Even though he's doing well, it's not the clip that he came in at.
Right on. 1st and 10 from the 43. King trying to go in for more. Handoff left side, hemmed in nicely by Big Mo. And the Crusaders are going to call a timeout. This is their second timeout. They'll have one more after this. I apologize, I'm incorrect. That's their final timeout. And they need to get stops now.
Yeah.
I want to continue on the list because there's so many for Moeller, and they deserve some noting, partner. We talked about Ken Griffey Jr. a little bit, the Moeller grad of 87, Hall of Famer. I mean, he was Mr. Everything. Buddy Bell, former manager of the Detroit Tigers.
Yep.
And also an 18-year major league career. Some people forget he was a solid player. And he's a Moeller grad of 1969. He also led their league in basketball scoring and points. His boy David Bell is in his 3rd season managing the Reds in Cincinnati. How cool is that? Grew up in Cincinnati. Now he's running the team. He also played 12 years in the major leagues. He's a 1990 grad of Moeller. And don't forget about Adam Hisdu, former major league player, 15th overall pick of the 90 draft. And he's a 1990 grad of Moeller. He was part of that World Championship team of the Red Sox in 2014. And do not forget about my favorite guy on this list, with all due respect to everybody else, Mr. Paul Keels, who is the voice of Ohio State athletics. And I don't hold that against him.
He used to do the Pistons, too, so that's a little feather in his cap.
You're exactly right. Not a lot of folks know that. He was the voice of the Pistons in 80 and 81.
Then we got Isaiah Thomas and George Blaha.
That's exactly right.
There's a nice play here by King. I mean, they gotta just keep picking up these yards, keep churning the clock, There's a minute 30 left in the game. If they pick up one more first down, this thing is over.
This is the play right here. 3rd and 3. It could be 4-down territory, probably would be, but this play could solve things right here with a minute 18 in a running clock. More under center to Weichel. Weichel is hemmed in and stuffed and stopped. And a decision to be made now. No timeouts left. And a running clock. There's 60 seconds left in this game. And what do you do if you're King?
If I'm King, I'm running my quarterback 60 yards down the field and having him run out the back of the end zone to kill 15 seconds.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. Well, what a great play by Chase Brown
yes.
on that tackle. That was huge to keep that in front of him and to force this 4th down, because if they don't get it here, 30 seconds is enough time. We've seen it. These guys can put up the scores in a hurry.
So King, it looks like, is going to call a timeout here with the time winding down under 30 seconds. We're at 25 seconds. And timeout is called. So we talked about all the celebrities, and I wanted to get Paul Keels in there. Again, the Silver Fox was a grad of Moeller in 1975. I love the man's broadcast. Grew up listening to him on Michigan basketball. Nice. And not that old to remember him in Pistons play-by-play back in 80-81, but Yeah, Paul Keels, lots of respect in that entire list of all the sports celebs from Moeller. A very powerful and prized program coming up from Cincinnati. They've got long odds now. King is taking control in the second half. 25 seconds left. 4th and 6 stick for King. What do you do with the ball at the 36-yard line?
So I'm not handing it off here. I'm going to put it into my quarterback's hands. I'm going to put it in a shotgun situation, and I'm going to probably run like a Hail Mary-ish with a couple underneath routes that I can check down to if it's not there. Because really, you just want to delay the clock at this point, you know. And if you run the ball right at him, you're maybe going to kill 5 to 7 seconds. If you have your quarterback running around, he throws the ball a mile high in the air, you're maybe killing about 15. So either way, if you don't pick it up, Moeller's going to get the ball back with about 10 seconds left. But you hope, ideally, you can pick it up. And look, they're going 4 wide here.
Here we go. 4th down and 6. Moore throws it right side. Pass caught. And turning the corner down the right sideline and busting the seams is Terrence Brown for the King Crusader touchdown. And the final nail in the coffin in Detroit. 36-yard strike from Moore on 4th down to Brown.
So you could try to kill the clock, or you could just score a touchdown and send the game home with a big bow on it, too. What a great play by Martin Luther King right there. And the crowd is excited. They're turning around yelling at us to send them home. I can't send them home, but that's going to be a long bus ride.
The extra point attempt is up, and it is good. So, with 13 seconds left, Detroit King has done something no other team from the state of Michigan has done, and that is knock off Archbishop Moeller from Cincinnati. They came in 4-0 all time against teams from Michigan. Catholic Central was the last team they played in 2012. Moeller won 61 to 33. They beat Rice twice in 07 and 79, and they beat the now closed St. Martin de Porres 21-12 back in 1991. Finally, a Michigan team has broke through against the powerful program in Moeller.
Well, if there's going to be a team to do it, the #1 team in the state should probably be the team to do it, right?
That's right.
I mean, Martin Luther King comes in. They have the top-rated quarterback. Their running backs have just been all American today. And then, you know, you have Chancey Willis on the outside doing what he does game in and game out. Terrence Brown. I mean, you could just list pretty much everybody. And when there's over 1,000 yards of offense, everybody got a little bit of love today.
They sure did. Terrence Brown with 56 yards receiving and also pretty balanced on the ground, 64. He goes over 100 all-purpose. Good to get their running backs, I don't want to say off the schneid, but they just weren't a big part of the game against Cass Tech, and we knew they were capable, and they showed out tonight.
Yeah, they definitely did, and you got to give credit to the big men up front, too.
That's right.
Because whenever the skill position players are doing well, that means that the big men are clearing the way for them, and we saw a couple of those touchdown runs. Guys were running through holes that were about 10, 20 feet wide. So.
Yeah, no, you're right, and let's give props to that offensive line. Jonathan Slack, Zontez Calhoun doing big things at left guard, Terrell Hollingsworth, the center, Jalen Courtney, the right guard, and Darius Shepard, the right tackle. The King offensive line was really good tonight, and Calhoun was a big part of it.
We got Calhoun's family in front of us. They're representing.
Wait, you said my brother.
Yep, your brother Calhoun. Yep.
12 seconds left, and everybody enjoying this on a Friday night in Detroit. This is fun. Where's the post party tonight in the city? Let's get something started.
Well, where you want to go, Chad? I got a few strings I can pull.
You got a lot of strings you can pull.
It's my city on a Friday night sometimes.
Better get those fingers rolling.
Yes, sir.
Joey Radio on the sidelines as well. He will have some players in the postgame celebration. Talk to Ty Spencer at halftime. We'll try to get him on some players in the postgame.
If he doesn't get my man Mays, I'm going to be very upset.
He deserves the mic again, doesn't he?
Oh, my God. After the game he played today.
Yep. Throw left side is bobbled and dropped. Goins, who's had a nice game tonight. That That's Jordan Marshall, who's had a really nice game tonight.
He really has. As a sophomore, they got a bright future with this kid.
Wait a minute. This team has a bright future. They are full of juniors and sophomores and talent, and Elders really stacked something up here in Cincinnati. They're going to be a real force in Division I in the state of Ohio in the OHSAA playoffs.
This should be the last play of the game.
Pass caught right side, out of bounds.
With 1 second left.
Catch was made that time by Kurt Thompson, fourth leading receiver on this team. And with 1 second left, Moeller will have one more crack at it.
It's going to be tough. I've never seen a 10-point play, but if they can do it with 1 second, I'll be impressed.
Yeah. Well, let's see if they can add to this tally tonight. A tally in total offense. It's climbed over 1,000 yards now.
But nothing to hang your head about if you're Moeller. I mean, you came up to Detroit, taking on the #1 team in the state, and you played well.
Another overtime. I mean, travel. It's Jordan catch out of the backfield. Gain of 10, and this ball game is over. Detroit King wins the border battle, and Michigan has finally broken through against Moeller. Your final score tonight. The #1 team in the state of Michigan, Detroit King 39. The #6 team in the state of Ohio, Cincinnati Archbishop Moeller 29. We're back for the post-game show right after this on the Friday Night Clash presented by the Prep and Woodward Sports. We're back after this.
Our students come to us seeking knowledge,
I got tongue-tied.
skills,
presented by
and
the Prep.
confidence necessary to thrive in our city, our
All right.
nation,
Good
and
job,
our
guys.
world.
Thank you.
They reflect the legacy and pride of those who came before them and bring their own unique swagger.
Okay, guys, good
Their
job.
best selves to
Let's
inspire
get
us
Joey.
every day.
Yeah, food sponsor.
Joey's
Keep
right
that
there.
spirit
Yeah,
high.
he got 55.
Got him.
Come
And
together
have him
do
get
their part to ensure our students rise. It begins with operating schools safely, with the best teachers providing engaging instruction, offering great programs, reducing class size, and connecting with our families. It's true, a certain magic happens in our classrooms, and we are eager to empower and educate every student to build a stronger Detroit. We can't wait to welcome our students, Detroit's next legends. For more information, visit DetroitK12.org or call 313-240-4377. Enroll today and rise up with DPSCD.
Man! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame.
Don't ride the bike of shame. Get tons of equipment and free fitness training. Join today for just $10 a month.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 300,000 participants here in Michigan who take part in high school sports.
And the fan favorite of the game today, we got to give it up to our boy Terrence Mays. How you doing?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you?
Hey, we got to admit, this is the way you start your homecoming weekend.
Yes, sir. Want to know?
Hey, can we first off tell Ohio, we got to send them back to Ohio. That's all I know.
Yeah, man. Cincinnati Moeller played a great game, great fight, great team, great program. I got to take my hat off to them. Great program.
What is it about you? I mean, everybody looks at you, even the principals are like, it's the heart and the soul of the team. Terrence, what is it most about you that just keeps you being the heart and soul of this team?
I just love the game. I just love to win. I love this program. I love my team. I love my guys. I love my coaches. And I just want to thank my hat to my coaches, my team, my family, everybody. I just love this game. I just want to win.
I feel like tonight, though, you guys made this game way more complicated than it needed to be.
Sir. We got a lot of stuff we need to fix. Too many mistakes. This game shouldn't have been as close as it was. We got a lot of stuff to fix going to the state playoffs because next week is elimination week, win or go home. So we got a lot of stuff we need to fix.
And I see you always dancing on the sidelines. Is that just your thing?
Yeah, that's just my thing. I love to dance, man. Keep my energy up.
Before we go, man, bust one out for us.
I got you, man.
Oh. There he is, Terrence Mays, our captain of the defense. I'll see you, man. Congratulations. Great win. And we go back to you guys. King coming up on top.
All right, thanks, Joey. 39-29, King wins it over Moeller. Now, if those are the moves that Mays has, I think he's saving a few. Look, I can compete with something like that. But Mays has done special things in the backfield. Sacks is what he does well, and it's fancy footwork from a big fella.
Sacks, blocks. Don't forget about his big block on King's first touchdown and the only touchdown in the first half. He laid a pancake block out there, and you just saw him the entire game. That kid's motor never stops. I mean, he's chasing quarterbacks around sideline to sideline. He's making run stuffs. There is nothing that kid can't do. If I had an all-American, all-gridiron team from all of the games that we have broadcast this year, he is definitely a starter on it.
Yes, sir, no doubt. We saw a good one tonight, and we saw a game that the Stars came out, and boy, did they show out. It was a game that saw both teams surpass 200 yards in rushing. King rushed for 201, Moeller for 231 yards. And passing, well, they weren't bashful there either. Dante Moore strikes for 24 of 33 in the air, and he ends up throwing for 295 yards. So both run games get you 200 yards. Both pass games get you about 300 yards. This is probably the most balanced attack offensively you could ask for in a football game.
Yeah, and it was just great to see. I mean, this was a great football game, and especially a great second half. I mean, the first half, 7-7, that was nice to see. But to watch the best of both of these teams, it was a lot of fun watching Moeller and their quarterback hit their wide receivers, make big plays, and then watching King just do what King does, be physical, be big, and play big boy football. Loved it.
King wins their 8th straight game, 39-29. The Crusaders of Moeller have been on a heck of a run, and they played a whale of a ball game tonight, and they brought it to Detroit and show what they're all about. We had a great football game tonight. We've got the highlights of the second half. We saw a lot of scores. We're going to show them all to you right after this. This is The Prep.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
so the interscholastic athletes may thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically. We believe students in the stands should have fun,
but not take the focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game!
Our students reflect our legacy, come to us seeking knowledge, and bring their own unique swagger to inspire us every day. We are safely doing our part with the best teachers to ensure our students rise. It's true, a certain magic happens in our classrooms, and we are eager to empower and educate every student, Detroit's next legends, to build a stronger Detroit. Enroll today and rise up with DPSCD.
Man! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame.
Don't ride the bike of shame. Get tons of equipment and free fitness training. Join today for just $10 a month.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Today I'm going to tell you about sportsmanship because it's important. Treat your opponents the way you would want to be treated. My mom says that. Listen to the referees. It's their job. Be nice to their team and our team. Cheer them on. Always play fair. It's the right thing to do. It's sportsmanship. It's not that hard.
We want to thank American Coney Island for the delicious food for our crew and staff tonight.
We love you, Grace.
Yeah, Grace is great. So is the recipe, the Coney Island, but so kind. Located at 114 West Lafayette in the heart of downtown. And, boy, they do great hot dogs. We had all kinds of things, gyros, hot dogs.
I had a loose burger. I had a gyro sandwich. I had some chicken wings. The only thing I didn't touch was the salad. Well, and it would look delicious.
I can vouch for the salad. I had a couple of things that were good, too.
Well, when you're 10 conies deep, salad's like, I'm good.
No doubt. So we really appreciate American Coney Island for coming through and hooking us up. They've got a spot downtown Detroit, just down Lafayette. West Lafayette, 114. Go find them tonight. They're a couple miles down the street. They're open. They never close. I think Grace says they don't even have a key. They don't even know where the key is. They also have a spot out at the D Las Vegas. If you're ever out there, American Coney Island. We
and a
thank
nice
them.
long bar there too.
Oh yeah. So this game has a lot of highlights, and we want to show you all 11 of the second half, and we'll get the highlight package rolling. All in all, King and Mo got it going, but it was Mo in the second half that started the fun.
Yeah, nice long touchdown pass here to number 10. I mean, he had a huge game for them. Tanell Bryant, he's returning kickoffs. He was catching touchdowns, and then King was able to answer on this block right here with big number 55 leading the way. You got to love that touchdown by King. And then Moeller responded with another rush, able to get to the edge and then cut back through. Had a huge game. Jordan Marshall just all over the place. He had a receiving touchdown that we'll get to later. And then you look here, Chancey Willis. He's got some dance moves with Moeller, but you look here, you see Chancey Willis.
Look at that.
This was a nice big game, and this was kind of the symbol of what was happening in the second half. They were just picking Moeller apart piece by piece, and it resulted in a King touchdown, a nice over-the-shoulder catch up over the defender right there for number 13 for Joe Williams. And then you get the block extra point, so that kept it a pretty close game. And then, let's see here. Moeller was able to get back on the board, and then you see King once again respond. This was after the fumble. Mylan Wynn is his name, or Mylan Wynn is his name. And this was the probably turning point of the game. This was a return for a touchdown by who else? Mr. Bryant, who had like over 200 all-purpose yards.
Runs a 10-8-500, by the way.
Yeah, and this gets called back for holding, which completely changed the complexity of the fourth quarter. And King was able to capitalize. Those were the holes we were talking about. You see how big that hole was? You got to give it up to the King lineman for that. Sterling Anderson, that was taking the lead, and the crowd started going nuts at that point. Moeller wasn't going anywhere, though. This was right before, about 2 minutes left in the game. They were able to get Jordan Marshall on the edge. This made it scary because they were able to tack on the 2-point conversion and take it down to a 3-point lead, which that made King have to get those first downs to kind of seal the game. But overall, this was the last play of the game. They got number 21 out here on the outside, and he was able to beat everybody. Just when you thought they were going to run out the clock, they were like, you know what, let's just score a touchdown and end it that way. Terrace Brown, incredible way to end the game tonight.
Yeah, what a night. What an action-packed second half. We had a lot of fun. Moeller came up. They showed out. King, in the end, preserves. They've won 8 straight. They are the best team in the state of Michigan. They prove it tonight with one of the toughest tests they've had all season long from our friends from Cincinnati. They'll see them again next year. They're going to go down to Cincinnati and play in, is it Shea Stadium? Shea Stadium where they play. King will go down there next year. Maybe they'll want us down there. We'll go down. Just don't feed us the skyline. We'll do anything if you just don't feed. You're there. I'll bring you some respect.
All right. We just got a commitment right there, Chad, from the Moeller crew.
Sounds like a roadie. We got a good crew. These guys are all right. I don't care if they're from Ohio.
Yeah, they've been great. They're proving every theory I had about Ohio wrong.
Yeah, it's been a fun time tonight.
Yeah, and great guys.
We've had a pleasure. Mark Elder's program, and he has carried the torch for the 9-time state champion Moeller Crusaders. Detroit King, though, in the end, you said it, you bet, sir. I mean, they took advantage of the turnovers. They forced 3 turnovers. not only the turnovers stick, but also all the opportunities that they salvaged inside the 10-yard line.
I mean, if you count the fourth downs as turnovers, they got 6 turnovers today.
That's right.
Which is, in a game like this, that's going to change the momentum. And you got to give it up for King for staying disciplined and staying within themselves to where they didn't have to force anything like that. Moeller was getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback throughout the entire game, but they didn't make the bad decision of the turnover. They didn't have the fumbles. And Moeller, with those 2 fumbles back-to-back, and one being on the quarterback-running back exchange and one being on the center quarterback exchange, those were 2 huge plays in this game. I'd say those 2 and the kickoff that got called back were probably the biggest plays.
Yeah, the quarterbacks had a fun showing in this one as well, and you certainly need to talk about the showing by Gesselbrock and what he did in this game. His numbers were gaudy, 16 of 32 for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick. He wasn't as accurate, but he showed that he's a big-time player. And with that size, how could a Division I team not take a chance on him?
No, and he showed he has mobility, too, because he got the rushing touchdown early in the game as well. But, even though he threw 50% completion percentage, like we were saying, 65 was what he was coming into this game in. So they were able to not mitigate him, but he didn't get off like he normally does.
And then running the football, they were led by Mr. Marshall. Again, their number 2 guy who splits time. Weeder had just 4 carries. He came out with an injury. Marshall said, hey, I'm a sophomore, but I'm a star. He averaged 9 yards a carry and 134 yards on the ground.
And that's what you love about high school football. We talk about this all the time. The starter gets out. You have the sophomore who hasn't really played a ton, and he shows this is your next guy. This guy's a baller. So it was fun to watch him, and not only did he have success rushing the ball, he had that great reception as well.
82 yards through the air and that touchdown, and a big time there. So Bryant led them in the air with 113 yards receiving, 4 catches, and the touchdown. And again, that kickoff return for the 10-8 500-meter Ohio State champion. Let's look for King and what they did in the air with the number 3 quarterback in the country in the class of 2023. Dante Moore was a sharp 24 of 33 for 295 and 4 touchdowns in this game.
Sneaky 4, too.
It was sneaky.
It was a sneaky 4.
Yeah.
I think it's because they were a lot of the flat passes to the running backs who were able to extend them. I mean, the long was 36, but averaging almost 9 yards an attempt. That's exactly what you want to see out of Moore.
And then running the football was a nice balance really in the first half with Brown and Anderson, and then in the second half, Anderson showed that he's the man.
Yeah, when you average almost 20 yards a carry, you're the man. I mean, I think we could call it that. But, a touchdown apiece for Brown and Anderson. So overall, it was a fun game to watch. We got to see a lot of offense in the second half, and we got to see 2 really good football teams play at their highest level. And there's nothing better than that on a Friday night.
That's right. Willis and Weichel also doing their thing with 6 catches, 79, 77 yards respectively, and the touchdown for Weichel in a game that saw over 1,000 yards of total offense in this game, 1,028 yards to be exact. So we saw what we came to see.
Yes, sir.
The PSL told us you need to be there. You're going to want to see this. You're going to want to show the folks in Ohio what's at the stake here, what's at stake here in Detroit. And they showed out tonight on Lafayette.
Yeah, I'm glad I was here to witness it. Anytime Michigan can beat Ohio in anything, I'm happy. So, like we were talking pregame, there's more than just a high school football game on the line here today. There's state bragging rights, and for the number 1 team in Michigan to take it to the number 6 team in Ohio, who just beat the number 1 team in Ohio,
right?
It's a feather in our cap.
So the regular season is over, and playoffs begin for both Moeller and King next week. The selection shows this Sunday for both respective states. And King will compete in Division III in the state of Michigan, which is a competitive Division III.
Yep.
King will be the clear-cut favorite in 3. Moeller's got a lot of competition in the state of Ohio in Division I. It's not as clear-cut, but there's no doubt tonight they showed they're a contender.
Yeah, we wish them well on future endeavors. But, yeah, for King, you get ready for the playoffs. They saw some things that they didn't experience during the regular season in tonight's game. They were able to make the defensive adjustments, and those are what you want to see. Those are the challenges that you want before you head to the playoffs, because now you know that you're flexible, you're malleable, and your team can handle those types of in-game changes.
Want to thank our crew for this Week 9 broadcast of the Friday Night Clash presented by Woodward Sports. A great crew, and they don't always get the credit they deserve, but boy, it's been a crew to be proud of this year. We'll start with our creative specialist, Julia Pisano. James Ferris, our creative director. On camera, Chase Kaufman, Steve Rhoda, Kyle Buchanan, Rob Sarna. All guys doing great work tonight, giving us some outstanding shots. Evan Westfall on scoreboard. Justin Sigler coming over from St. Mary's after his season ended last year. He was working instant replay tonight. Pat the Stat on one of the stats. Jamie Janssen, also really helping out on stats and scores. Ali Hadi on audio utility and loves to play Janet Jackson. Robert Selby, your director tonight. Alex Westfall, your executive producer.
Happy birthday, Alex.
And the birthday boy. Where are we going afterwards? Kyle, you better plan that.
I got a bottle of Amex. Let's go.
Let's not forget about your sideline guy, Joey Radio. He might be involved with that.
Yep.
And my partner, Sam Stick Day, to my left. Best color commentator on a Friday night in Detroit you'll ever find. My name is Chad Bush. It's been a pleasure from Detroit. Thank you to Detroit King, wonderful host, and the PSL, Jay Alexander, Kyle Covington, Tamika Evans, all the great folks here. Thanks a lot. Good night, everybody.